Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today? How was your run?
My run was great. Anyways, got up a little late this morning, so I didn't even have a chance to change after. But good. I made some record time today, so felt good despite the fact
Nice.
that it was cold out there. It was very windy and cold.
It's
But
windy. Yeah.
it's funny when you get to a point of training for like a long race where I went out and I did a 5 mile run today. That's a short run, right? You're like, I'm just gonna do
Yeah.
a real quick
We'll do a
five
warm up.
miles. Just a quick
We'll do a
five
warm up.
miles. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just odd. Anyway.
That is wow, my friends. Good morning, everybody. Good morning over on YouTube. Good morning in our chats. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let's get to our gappers list. I had it up here. Yes, I did. I'm not going crazy. There we go. Gappers list this morning brought to you by tradingterminal.com. Some stuff, I don't even know what this is. Yeah, we'll see what MUFG. I've never heard of that. And Elab we've seen before. It doesn't trade very well, but we'll dive into all of that. And then on the gap side things, all the stocks we're familiar with: QUBT, Nike, QBTS, Rigetti Spaghetti, MU. All these stocks we know very well. Maybe besides two, I think we're all very familiar with these tickers here. So we'll dive into them and see what's driving them down this morning. We had some earnings last night. Peter, myself, Jared were doing that yesterday. So thank you for those that joined. We'll talk about that as well. But yeah, let's dive in first to our U.S. economic calendar. Peter, do we have anything going on there?
We have absolutely nothing. It is quite a boring day out there. And it's a boring day from an economic calendar point of view when Jared doesn't even come on Fridays for a bonus session. So, that there's a clear
Yeah,
sign. Clear sign. But
that's true.
anyways, the what is not boring, and Carlos and I were just talking about this before we came on air. If you're trying to fly in or out or around Heathrow Airport is closed all day today with a fire at a local substation, which has taken down the airport, canceled over 1,300 flights, and stranded 100,000 passengers or so estimated. So massive impact. Heathrow, like one of Europe's busiest airports. And I mention it because, if you're looking for a trading idea, it might be worth considering. So what is the knock-on impact going to be on all these flights that go in and out? What about the airlines that we do trade? American, Delta, United, right? There's definitely going to be some impact. Will it impact the stock? Don't know, but might be worth keeping an eye on them. They're fairly quiet this morning. They're red, but that doesn't mean much because there's a lot of stuff. We're pretty much red across the board. So, but it's interesting to note. And I thought, if you like to follow the news, sort of stock movement based on news, we could be hearing stories, right? Like this is the type of thing that people go to social media and say, hey, I was supposed to fly to Heathrow and I'm now stranded in Germany, or I'm being mistreated, or I haven't heard anything for 6 hours. What the heck's going, anyways, I just was sort of thinking, how can I, what's the trading opportunity? I mean, so sorry for everybody that's been affected if you had a flight, but how can I trade it, darn it? So
Reminds me of what's the show that
billions.
the billions. Oh yeah, that's the worst
Yeah, where he
situation.
he shorted
But what
everything on the Twin
what would you do?
Towers. And
Like we I think we talk about this very carefully and sensitive. But yeah, let's say that does happen, and as bad and as horrible as it is, but you're a trader and there's an opportunity. Do you take it or not? I mean, people hated him because he took
yeah,
the opportunity of shorting the airlines, but yeah, this is that type of situation, I guess, right? Nowhere near
but
that scale, obviously.
yeah, it's an interesting debate. I have that type of. I mean, we don't want to get too philosophical here on a Friday, but I have that debate
Yeah,
all the time. And like, as long as I'm using the proceeds of that to do some good, then I figure, like I'm not causing the problem. I'm not exacerbating the problem. I'm not making it any worse. And like, what can I do? It's not like I can fix the problem at Heathrow. So I might as well, take advantage and then do some good in the world with the things that I do. So, because if not me, someone else will. So at least
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
I'm likely to do more good than the next person. So, anyways, that's my theory.
I like that. I like that theory. You could take 10% and send it to like the Stranded Travelers or something organization.
Whatever you want to do. Yeah.
All right, but now what they're looking for, just to add to this, already they're looking who's at fault. Why is there not? Because it's just a power outage. Like the plant, why don't have several backups, right? So insurance companies are going to be looking at who's at fault, and when they have these airlines total up the number of expense of putting people up on hotels, rerouting flights, getting them back to where they need to be. Some planes were stuck in the mid-Atlantic going back to the U.S. because they couldn't land in Heathrow. This is going to cost a lot. So when they fight who's at fault, that's when you're going to see some of the reaction here. But we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. Right now, airlines are pretty down. At least American Airlines, I've been watching this one quite a bit. I don't think they can go any lower. And if they go under 10, I'm all in long on this thing. I'm waiting for it. Hasn't got there yet. Got to 1050, 1040. But I don't know how much lower this bad boy can go. All right, let's take a look here, guys. TradingTerminal.com. We'll dive into some of these tickers that we have on deck this morning. Let's see what's gapping up today. Elab is a ticker we've seen plenty of times. Does not trade very well. And this morning we are up 17.7. Already have a drop from the highs, 2.6 million shares traded. No doubt that it is in play, but just let me give you some history on this ticker. Just look how bad the daily is, right? So very, very light volume, even on big days like this one and this one here, 1.3 million. So again, even when they get great volume, they don't move very well. So Peter, obviously some news this morning. They're gapping up pretty, I don't want to say too significant, but they're doing some stuff today.
Yeah, I don't think this is really tradable news. I don't remember hearing about this company. I think we might have traded in the past. I don't know why they're even. Anyways, they're called Elab, but the company is PMGC Holdings. It is a biotech, but the reason why it's moving is because they've announced that they are actively seeking to repurchase shares from shareholders. So they're looking to reduce the float. So that's good on two fronts. One, if you want to get out of your shares, right, you can sell them back to the company. You've got a ready buyer, and they usually have to pay a premium because they pull them off the market. But the result of that means that there's a lower inventory, which increases the theoretical value of the remaining shares. So that's why it's getting a little bit of a bump here on that news. Oddly, in it, I don't see how many shares this. They say they're not releasing how many shares they're actually buying back. But I mean, I assume it's got to be significant, or it's not really news. Their float is not that big, so I'm seeing only like 600,000 shares in the float. So I guess they don't have to really buy back that many to have an impact. But low float. Look, it's a Friday. I don't want to go into the weekend messing with this stuff. That's just a recipe for causing myself problems.
100%. We'll leave this one alone, friends. Let's take a look at the next one on here. Is going to be MUFG. So MUFG, what is this? Mitsubishi. Oh, Mitsubishi has a. Well, of course they would, right? Wouldn't they? Is this Mitsubishi the car company, Peter, or not?
Well, I mean, yes, partly, but that's the least of what they do. I mean,
Okay.
Mitsubishi's got a major heavy equipment division. They've got an energy services division. They've got a financial. I think this is specifically the financial group.
Yeah, I see that.
There you go. Yes, actually, that's why it's
Financial.
MUFG.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Mitsubishi United Financial Group. So there you go.
Yeah, this probably trades horrible, but yeah. What's going on with them today? Any news?
It's I'm trying to figure out how this news is related here. Because they don't normally. I mean, I don't know. I've never seen these guys on our radar. I didn't even know they traded the North American markets. To be honest,
Same.
I mean, know they're a massive company. Didn't know they traded because I mean they didn't they don't normally trade. But it looks like their financial group has agreed to provide some funding to fund X. This formerly known as Twitter. Looks like they're providing about $1 billion of background financing. Now, I don't know if this is unique for them. I mean, they're a financing group, right? So this could be part of a larger consortium. We know that he financed $42 billion, right, to buy the company out, and I have no idea who is behind that. This could just be a re-upping of some of the financing. That maybe they're part of a larger consortium. Why this thing got news today, I don't know. But anyways, I think that's why it's here. I'm just looking at the trading so far, Carlos. It says 39 million shares traded. Where are they? Like, I honestly see them absolutely nowhere in the reported volume. So I yeah, immediately I don't like that. Are you seeing the same? Are my numbers
Yeah.
off here?
No, no, you're seeing the same. I
30,
got 39.4 million here, and
yeah.
the 5 million
Like,
looks like we traded three shares. Yeah.
yeah,
In the same boat.
exactly. Like, I literally don't see more than 100,000 shares traded on my charts here all morning. So I don't know what's going on. I'm moving on. I
Yeah,
don't care.
yeah.
Too confusing for me.
Uh,
Oh, where'd you go? I
I'm here,
think you
buddy.
hit mute.
Sorry,
There
I
you
did. So there it is. That is our gap up. There's nothing left there for us. Relio says, I like when Carlos asks Peter any news on the company, and Peter goes, and I'm gonna tell you, I expect Peter to, if a ticker even pops up here in like 2 seconds, I expect him to know the
go.
news like
You expect me to
ChatGPT.
know,
You know, I expected to
though.
know him right away. No, guys, we're live. You know, things happen, right? And some news just doesn't make sense. Like the one you just read now, like you just don't care about, right?
Yeah.
That's not gonna affect us.
Yeah.
But yeah, all fun, buddy, all fun. All right, so Peter, as far as gapping up, anything you like? I know we had earnings last night, but it looks like they're on the gap down now.
They're
Even
they're
in you, oh
surprisingly,
yeah,
yeah, they're all on the gap down. I mean, we were watching stuff climb last night. I thought we were going to be talking about Micron on the gap up. I thought we were going to be talking about Nike perhaps on the gap up, but absolutely not. Both are very red. So we'll get to those on the other side of the list. I got nothing on the gap up.
okay. All right, let's dive into what's gapping down. As you can see here, QU quantum stuff. Man, I'm so glad I'm out of my QBTS for a couple of days ago. I did not catch the top. Right, it went all the way to 11.50.12, unfortunately, but glad I'm out because we're back down pretty good here. We're down all the way to $8, and a lot of these with QBTS, which is I find the nicest one as far as the amount of volume that it trades. We got plenty on here. QUBT is another one. QUBT is another one you could look at. Rigetti. They're all down this morning, Peter. I'm not sure if anything has come out. I know they had their event. Did their event go bad? Did something not? Didn't wow investors, and now we're kind of seeing a pullback here. But yeah, they're all
Well, I
down
mean,
this morning.
yeah, we've talked about that. I mean, the reality is you have to wow or you will drop. They had earnings, and as I reported last night, I mean, sorry, QUBT that is had earnings because that's when we started talking about. But their earnings were like measured in hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? For a company valued at $1 billion, who cares about a couple $100,000 and if they hit or missed that revenue or not? I mean, it's I don't know, it's a rounding error to zero. Like it really doesn't matter. I don't think there's any specific news. I haven't seen anything on quantum. I think it's just a letdown after there was a quantum event again. I've mentioned it several times this week at the GTC conference, which is the tech conference that NVIDIA has been putting on all week. I think we're just seeing a little bit of a letdown that there wasn't any big announcement or real news coming out of that. And with the market generally being down today, I mean, it's down. The market overall is down almost, not quite a percent, but let's call it 0.75% on average, depending on which index you're looking at. So I think they're just, we're getting a natural pullback after some of the push up that we had late last week and early this week.
Yep, absolutely. I don't know how trade they're going to be, but for right now, I'm gonna keep them again off my list for the most part. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. But again, we'll see how the volume comes in. Now, let's take a look at one that was in a play here last night, Nike. So we'll start with Nike and then work our way down. We got MU, and also I don't see FedEx on here, but we'll look at that as well. So yeah, Nike taking a big hit, Peter. They're down 7.2. Normally this stock doesn't trade very well, but they do tend to get, man, a big gap up and down. You spoke about this yesterday when we were live. When they do get earnings, the gap up or down seems to be pretty aggressive. And today they're down pretty nicely here below all the areas of support, looks like, at least most recent. So latest and greatest, let's fill people in on their earnings and anything else that we might have now that we didn't earlier.
Yeah. So So we had earnings, like you said, after the close yesterday, and their last quarter, wasn't that bad. A little bit of mixed results as they reported, but they were pretty much on target for their numbers. Really, where they suffered was their profitability was lower than anticipated, so that took them that was not so great. But nobody cares about that. The stock is going to be driven based on their forecast, and their forecast was pretty bleak, really. They expect both sales and margins to reduce in the forthcoming quarter. They said obviously there's big economic uncertainty in the world. They said that especially their North American prospects, they're having a tough time forecasting because they just don't understand what consumer sentiment and patterns are going to be because of that uncertainty. They also, we've got some advance. We were talking about this last night on the show. They got some advance warning out of their retailers. Foot Locker is one of the biggest sellers of Nike gear and footwear, and they have sort of called off their guidance because of that same uncertainty. So everybody was hoping, I think, a little bit that Nike was going to have something positive to say, or at least some, a little bit of hope. They didn't really give a lot of hope. So we're seeing the result of that. I mean, as they're down 7%, not as bad as some other stocks, quite frankly, but 7% anyways. And that's like we were talking about. They tend to have these pretty big gaps because they move in a very narrow range on a regular day. These gaps that they get overnight every time they have earnings, seems to set a tone. So will they be tradable? I don't know. The last couple of quarters, I have watched Nike looking for a trade opportunity and have not found it. So I don't know if I'm a sucker for punishment. We'll see. It is on my tentative list at this point, unless we run across something better. But I do want to watch last night's earnings just to see what they do at the open. We'll talk about some others that might be better prospects, but Nike's there anyways. It'll lurk in the background for me until I find something better.
Yeah, same here, man. You make a perfect sense on this one. All right, another one. Let's just jump right to it, right? Keep going with earnings. Another one is MU, right? So we've been watching MU yesterday. I am surprised this thing is back down. I checked it last night after our earnings call. It is actually in the red now. This is crazy because if you guys remember, if you're watching it as a pot, it went all the way up to 110, I believe it was, and it looked strong. It was holding up here pretty nicely. But man, look at the turn of events here this morning, Peter.
Yeah, and and a couple of bright lights. Like when they announced it, they beat their numbers in the quarter. So in the last quarter, they beat both revenue and earnings. That was good. They had an upbeat forecast. They projected growth above the midpoint guidance from the analysts. So that was good. They were talked about by NVIDIA and NVIDIA CEO Jensen, talking about their so-called what are those? The HBM products, which are their I forget what it stands for, high bandwidth microprocessors, which of which Micron is a big supplier even to their competitors. So that's good. That's going to drive growth and further integration in the industry. Like it seemed like it was all good news last night, and then I don't know. Everybody got drinking last night, and this thing just fell off. I haven't seen anything since to really change that picture. So, like it's I don't know. I'm a little surprised. Like at the very least, I would have hoped it would have at least halted its slide at the point at which it closed the day, but it didn't. It kept going. In fact, lost all of the gains it had made over the course of the last week. And I mean, it's not that bad. Not that dire, I suppose, because we're sort of back to where we were a week ago on Friday. But it needs to hold this range. Last Friday, the low was 98.75. So and you can see earlier this morning, we went below that. So if we get back underneath it, then we'd be lower than we were last Friday, and then we got some room to move. We'll talk about that when Carlos sets levels, but there's downside risk because I don't understand why the sentiment is so negative. But like I kept saying, I guess it just proves true once again, right? You really have to like blow the doors off if you're a semiconductor these days to move higher. It seems like you just get punished for any even good news, and they had good news.
Yeah, yeah. I think, like I mentioned yesterday too, I think not Tesla, Nvidia has ruined us with their earnings and explosive doubling, quadrupling their revenue and whatever. It's really been pretty bad. So they pretty messed us up here. All right, let's take a look here, friends. Sort of the gappers list. We reviewed QBUBT, all the quantum stuff, Nike. We did MU. The other one that had earnings was FedEx. We didn't bring up FedEx yet.
Yeah,
FDX.
FedEx.
FedEx was the other one that's also gapping down here pretty nicely, down 8.9, 220,000 shares traded. Again, I probably won't have this one on my list. Maybe in a secondary. They don't trade very well, but today could be their day, Peter. As far as possible place.
Yeah. They came out again last night with their earnings. I think, and I have to go from memory in this because I didn't write it down, but I think they missed on bottom line earnings, but beat on revenue. Again, it's guidance though. That's really what matters. Their guidance was nowhere near what the market was expecting, but it's not really a surprise. We're talking about this last night that there's uncertainty, and they're just saying with that uncertainty, especially with the tariffs, they don't quite know because they don't know how to administrate or manage that. They're saying that it's going to create uncertainty in the parcel package business. They're expecting to see a drop off in both earnings and in top line revenue because of that. So yeah, so again, a pretty bleak forecast that they provided, and this is actually a big move down for FedEx. They don't. I mean, they do gap occasionally. Rarely do they gap this much. That being said, if you go back to September of last year, they had a pretty big gap. Bigger than we're seeing right now. It was about a $50 gap. We're only gapping about $20 here. So yeah, FedEx. We know it can definitely move when it has days like this. Although, again, look at every normal day, very tight range for FedEx. This is one of the rare days where it could potentially move. So I don't think the outlook's not likely to improve. It is a NYSE stock, so you've got to wait for that volume to come in and watch it very carefully. But um, to me, it's sort of like a Nike in terms of how it trades and the chance of it trading well, right? Like it's sort of a flip of a coin. It could be great. It could be absolutely horrid. I'm not sure. So again, in absence of something better, I'm going to be watching Nike and FedEx off to the side. MU's going to be front and center for me with the semis I normally watch, of course. But I think it's probably the better play at this point.
All right, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. All right, guys, that's about it. Let's take a look. I think that mainly covers our gap up. Let's take a look here. Where is it? There we go. Yeah, I think that's everything. Gap down, excuse me. I'm doing back and forth here. Yeah, INQ, which is quantum. We spoke about that. CCL is the only other one that I see on here. So let's go to CCL, and then Peter, we'll go to you to see what else you like on the gap down. That might be gapping down, not on the list. But right now, CCL doesn't look great, man. I want to see more volume on this one. It is down 2.7, 700,000, but that's not really CCL numbers at all. So yeah, I'm not liking it.
Yeah, CCL. I mean, this is an advance of earnings. Their earnings are coming out this morning. They're not out yet, as far as I know. They're coming out at 9:15, so we have about 20 minutes before Carnival's earnings come out. I don't know. I don't even know what to expect. I can tell you that the analysts are looking for 5.75 billion in revenue and 2 cents, positive 2 cents in earnings. So if they can achieve that or better, then they might be okay. But this is a market that's gapping down. So if nothing else, they're getting pushed down. With the tide being lower, they're floating lower this morning. Pun, of course, completely intended. So there you go. Friday dad joke. The other one that has earnings is Neo this morning. They had earnings much earlier today. Really, I was hoping that they would trade a little bit better, but they still look very ugly, very some barcode trading. Anyways, doesn't look pretty. They had earnings, missed their numbers actually. Neo top and bottom line, so not a great quarter for Neo, but still likely not to be in play. Those are the only two earnings I had that we were watching there. Other than that, Carlos, to what else I like? I like all of the Magnificent Seven. Again, no economic data. There's no anticipated, as far as I'm aware, notices coming out of the White House. So we should be able to just sort of manage things as we see them on the charts. Use the technicals to our benefit. It is a Friday, which means that volumes typically trail off fairly early into the afternoon, and we get quiet, sort of go quietly into the weekend. So yeah, if you want to trade, you got to pay attention this morning. I'm hoping though that we get some good opportunity with this. I mean, fairly aggressive move down here this morning. Well, whether we recover or continue, I have no idea. But either way, I'm hoping we get some trading opportunity out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, friends, that's what we have. Let's take a look at what you guys like this morning. So we'll dive into our chat room and see what you guys have in mind so far. So let's take a look here. MU, yes, we did look at MU already. So again, it will be on my list. So I'll update the banner in just a second here. So I will put that on my list. But yeah, I think it's going to be in play. I think we're going to get some great activity out of it and opportunities. And again, just shocked with the way this thing traded over the last couple of days. What else, friends? What else you guys like this morning? So we got MU, we have Nike. Again, just Nike. Secondary for now. Yeah, secondary for now. Yeah, I mean, I really do want this stock to trade well. I think I'll have a lot of fun with it. But I don't think I have a lot of success with this stock. So we'll see. All right. What else, friends? Pretty quiet in chat as far as tickers. We of course are going to watch Tesla. Let's take a look at how they're doing this morning. Kind of holding here. I've seen some headlines where Elon is doing like an emergency meeting with his executives to try to see what's going on there. He even told employees and to not sell their stock, to hold on to them. That we know. So that's interesting because I don't think he ever done that before. Matter of fact, I've seen him tell people that his stock is too high. So quite the opposite. So interesting that that's the approach.
Hasn't he? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he has. I mean, he's gone on many rants about the stock in the past, right? Like, remember when he had the big war with short sellers? He was all angry with short sellers for a period of time and was trying to take them to anyways, I don't know what he was trying to do, and then he got sanctioned by the FCC, and they were all getting mad at him and all sorts of things, or not SEC, I mean, and I don't know. I mean, look, Elon's said and done lots of things in the past, so it's it is an interesting time for Tesla. I mean, to me, hey, look, just from a trading perspective, whatever's going on out there, it keeps it in play. I mean, once again yesterday, it definitely chopped in a zone, but it created sort of wave movements, opportunities in the stock. So I'm all for it. Keep it going, because if it makes me money, I'm all for it.
Absolutely. All right, what else, friends? Take a look here at both chats. Also looking at YouTube as well. Good morning to everyone. And not many tickets from you guys. So very quiet morning so far. All right, we'll look at Apple, of course. We'll take a look at Apple here. Apple's pre-market activity, very active, actually. We are down here, 600,000 shares traded. Has been sliding lately, and I do like this daily as well. Look at the support we're getting here off the daily. We're trying to test the recent lows on Apple. They're having some big issues, man. They're actually shaking things up on their AI. They're the heads of AI. I think they're taking the guy that created the vision goggles. I think he's going to get more involved in the AI, because Apple has just completely failed with the Siri and the whole AI situation. They have done so poorly on this. So they're getting together there, a meeting of the minds, and try to see what's the next steps to kind of prevent this thing from getting worse. So that could be affecting a little bit today. And again, it's just you should be ahead of this stuff. In fact, if you would have left those goggles alone, leave those goggles alone, that only a very small percentage of people are going to buy, and focus on AI, where 100% of your clients are going to have on their phone, right? So just doesn't make sense to me. Somebody needs to be fired over there.
Yeah, well, and it sounds like somebody is getting fired because there is a lot of news around the AI scene there. They're getting sued in federal court over AI. Plaintiffs have brought a case saying that Apple's advertisements created a clear and reasonable consumer expectation that these transformative features would be available in the iPhone's release. And contrary to the defendant's claims of advanced AI capabilities, the products offered significantly limited or entirely absent Apple Intelligence features. So that's that's not good when they get taken to court. That being said, a company like Apple, I got to believe that there's probably like 24 court cases ongoing for various whatever things out there. It sort of goes to the territory. That being said, there was an article by Bloomberg that reported that apparently the CEO Tim Cook has been quoted as saying that he's lost confidence in the ability of the head of AI, John Gianandrea, I think I said that right, to execute on product development. So sounds like John Gianandrea is the one who's getting fired there, Carlos. So, and like you said, they're likely to bring in other people to lead that AI development. So,
yeah, not good for Apple, man. They messed this up big time. All right, so let's look at Apple here. We'll put it on the list. Of course, we have Tesla.
I made that mistake.
What happened? What?
I almost said Tim Apple, instead of Tim Cook. So,
yeah, Tim. All right. So yeah, Tesla, Apple, of course, Nvidia is another one that we like to look at many times. We are down 1.2 right now, 4.6 million shares traded. So this will also be on my list. Just kind of going with some usual suspects here. For the most part, things seem to be a little bit quieter than usual. Anything else, friends, before we head to our community events and announcements? Just check in chat. I don't see any new tickers, so move on. Peter, anything else? Yep.
We always mention PLTR. I mean, it is actually looking decent today, but like we said, it's sort of a regular player out there. I like the way it moved yesterday. So it's rising on my stocks to watch because I haven't always watched it, but it takes me a while to come around to watching things regularly. But PLTR is starting to make my list.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. I'm going to add it on here, PLTR as well. All right. Perfect, guys. Let's head over to our community events and announcements as we wrap up this week. Let's get over here to bearwithtraders.com. You can always click on webinars to get the latest and greatest here. So we'll go to Peter to give us what's happening for today.
Yeah, it's Friday, so we have only one thing on the agenda for you today, and that's Sean, who's going to be talking about his weekly trade strategy execution. Sean usually comes up with some interesting topics and titles, and this week he's got one out there as well. So he's going. Oh, now I've lost it. Where the heck? He even sent it to me. Carlos, he said it was a cool title. Something about turtles.
I did not see that.
Hold on, I gotta find it.
Everybody likes turtles. Turtles are good.
Sean, are you out there? You'd even sent me the title. I'm like, I want to talk about that. I want to let people know. Turtles all the way down. That's right. We are turtles stacked on turtles. It's turtles all the way. I can't remember what it was. Anyways, it's a shame because it was.
There was well, you looked that up. Well, you know what? There was a guy who tried to take here in Newark, tried to take a turtle on the airplane, a big turtle too, and he got caught, and I think he's gonna face some charges. So you can't travel with turtles if you think about it.
Was he? No, they usually don't like any.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Reptiles on public transport. Where was he hiding this turtle?
Well, the picture only showed it in a box. I'm not sure where he was hiding. I didn't read the whole article, but it's like, dude, take a car, drive down. Like rent a car. Take it. Your turtle means that much to you, and it's a big size too. Take it. Take a car. This doesn't make any sense to me.
All right. Well, maybe it was his emotional support turtle.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I can't say that comment because I was gonna say something about dogs, but people love dogs. I will get so canceled. I actually think I don't think you can cancel me no more in the new in this new administration. But in fact, just saying that could get me canceled. Let me be quiet. Peter, do the announcements.
Okay. You know what? I never did understand the emotional support thing until my daughter got a dog, and I love that dog to death now. So I have to admit, I'm a little more of a convert than I used to be. But in any event, all right, let's talk about our sessions. Like I said, can't remember the title. Poor Sean, he sent it to me, and I've lost it. I really can't find it here at all, so I don't know where it's gone. But in any event, it's going to be a great one. So you need to join at noon to find out what the heck I'm talking about and what he's going to talk about. But it's going to be a good session. It's for all of our elite members. It's going to be happening in the webinar room. So hopefully you'll join him today for that market mastery class. If you want to join us here in the chat room, then you know what? We'd love to have you. It's a great community. It's a lot of fun. Look at you guys. See, like, commenting on everything, having a great conversation. And then when the trading gets going, you guys are all business and always talking stocks, sharing ideas, telling us what's moving. You know, like that's what I love about it. It's such a great community. If you wanted to join us, we have a number of membership plans, Carlos. If you can just scroll up to them, that culminate in our spring sale that gives us 50% off the Elite Annual. You just need to use the code SPRING50, or it should be pretty automatically there. But if you don't want to, make that commitment, we get it. You can use the intro offer and just join us for a week and kick the tires and see how it works for you. You only have 1 week left to make that last minute decision to join us in Vancouver. This thing kicks off a week from tomorrow. A week from tomorrow. I can't believe it. When we are going to be doing our summit in Vancouver. It's going to be a big, big session over the course of next weekend and Monday morning, Carlos. So not this coming Monday, but a week Monday, Carlos and I are going to be coming to you live from Vancouver. So that's going to be exciting as we do the pre-market show there. And if you're not there, you're going to wish you were. So you know what? Make that last minute decision. Jump on a plane if you haven't already, and or a car if you want to bring your turtle, and join us. In fact, I would love to have a picture of somebody in their turtle at the session with us. So there you go. There's your there's your challenge. Bring your turtle to the session. We will welcome you with open arms and a piece of lettuce. But if you want to join us, this is going to be a great session on, it goes from Saturday, the 29th through Monday, the 31st of March. It's going to be fantastic. Absolutely packed with activities. You can, right on the website, like Carlos is showing you, click on there, get the whole breakdown of what's happening. It's going to be awesome. So hopefully you'll join us. We'd love to see you. There's a couple of tickets left. There always are. Again, we keep some for those last minute joiners, but they will be gone by the time we get there. So book in now, and we will see you, because we are capping the number of people. Well, we have to. There's fire laws and stuff as to how many people we can let in the room. So looking forward to it. Should be a fantastic session. We'll see you there. Carlos, let's set some levels. We're doing pretty good on time today. So
yeah, but we are doing very well this morning. I mean, it was just not a lot to look at, Peter. Right? It's very quiet. So my list right now: MU, Tesla, Apple, and Nvidia, and then Nike and POTR on the secondary. I'm add some more as we go through some of the moderators stuff here. Over in chat, the comments about turtles are great. Erica, agree 100%. Train service dogs are awesome, and if you do that job, it's amazing. We had a guy who used to train dogs, William. Man, some of his videos were incredible. Out in California, I have to reach out to him. I haven't talked to him in a while. But yeah, dogs are amazing. It's the people. It's the people, guys. It's the people sometimes of the dog. It's never the dogs. Never the dog's fault. It's the people, right?
The dog.
It's the people that abuse certain things. It gets me. It gets me. All right, let's stick on task here, guys. Let's look at this morning what we have going on. So let's take a look at some levels. We'll do MU. Again, MU with earnings last night up and then right back down. Adventure Dog. Yeah, David from Connecticut. You've been around long enough to know that. Very good.
There you
MU.
go. Look at that. Jeff bailed me out there. That's what it's called. So, the session is called The Rabbit versus Snapping Turtle. How to go from beginner to pro in trading.
Nice.
So I knew there was a turtle in there somewhere. So
I like it.
there you
Yeah.
go. I knew I saw it. I just couldn't find it for the life of me. So thank you, Sean. All right, so there you go. That's the topic. So if you want to learn about both rabbits and turtles, tortoise and the hare, this is your opportunity. So anyways, that's at noon today. Sean, webinar room, elite members, be there.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so excellent. So on MU, friends, let's get some levels in. This thing is down quite a bit, but again, I think it'll be a lot of fun. So low of the pre-market is 98.44. We'll slam one there. The above that, you can see how the highs and lows of the last two trades. We got this area of resistance we kind of put in place here. You see the high of the pre-market this morning right above, right next to the high from yesterday, right? So right on there. So I don't think you need to add anything there. As far as above the high of the pre-market, we do have a level over at 107.24. So we'll slam one there, and then the nice level too. You can see the areas where we're getting to on there, and then above that, just in case, I don't think this is happening. Struggle last night came up to here, somewhere in this just below 110, right? So we do have a level there just from even last night itself. Actually, you know what? Let's go look for that level. Mark that down right over here. Yeah, this 109.88. So we'll put that there, and you can see how that area also has a lot of resistance on the recent months there. All right, so now towards the bottom, if we continue on this downtrend, again, very weak so far in the pre-market here and after hours, we're going to mark down 96.03, around 95.87 there, and then you also have towards the bottom all the way over here 92.34 sticks out. The chart gets a little bit messy here, but you can see clearly some areas where you have a lot of touches of support and resistance, a lot of days opening and closing, and just kind of flirting with this 92.34. Speaking of flirting, guys, flirt with that thumbs up button over on YouTube. Trust me, it's gonna make you feel really good, nice inside. So definitely slam that button. We'll love to get to some higher likes if we can. I really appreciate it. For those that have done it already, thank you so much. It does mean a lot to us, and it helps the show. So at 117, we'd love to get a little bit higher this morning. You can see too that there's only 600 people watching. It's like a slow. Are people off today? Are people like? Is there a holiday or something that we don't know about? I know my kids are off on Monday. My kids are off on Monday. I don't even know for what, but is there a holiday? People are just taking it easy, or did they know the stock is going to be bad today?
Here.
What's going on?
I don't know.
Low today. Yeah, low numbers. All right, but
You
we're
know
happy
why?
with.
Everybody's stuck outside Heathrow Airport. They can't get anywhere.
They're stuck in their flights. All right, more the reason to be on the show. If you're stuck on stuck on the airport, hop in and look at the stream. But thank you guys, really appreciate it. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. So next on my list is going to be, where did I lose my list here? We'll bring it back right over here. Okay, next is Tesla, right? So Tesla, of course, always on here. Just finishing up on MU. As you guys know, MU is after earnings last night, popped up pretty big. Thought it was going to be strong. Woke up this morning, is the opposite today. Tesla always on deck, a little messy, up in the green after being down in the red, and now back down in the red again. So just some back and forth action here. Low of the pre-market this morning, 233.04. So we'll slam one there, and then towards the top, 238. Wait, is that right? Yeah, 238.23. So that's your pre-market high and low. And what's interesting is the daily here, though. Look at the daily, how we're just kind of, again, let's just go back a little bit and review this because Tesla's very exciting. Look at the drop here, kind of found support, retested it again, and now we got the sideways action, which is very, very interesting. So again, we might be breaking out one way or the other here. We just got to be patient and see what's next. Last headline from Elon was telling employees, do not sell your stock, hold on to it. And he's meeting with some executives, which is, people like that, right? I'm sure investors will like that because, okay, he's actually talking about Tesla. So he's looking at Tesla, he's involved, and that's what investors want to see. They want to see him involved in this company and making sure he's driving things where he's supposed to here. So Tesla doing its thing here, holding shortly, still in the red, 3.4 million shares traded. We'll see where it's going to go there. Next one is going to be a good one for us is Apple. Apple is always a lot of fun. Again, more negative news on Apple. So here the AI is a mess. They're firing some John Doe guy there. I mean, it's just not working out for them. 210.60 as far as the other software part, right? 210.60 is the low of the pre-market towards the bottom. We're going to go at 208.41, so great level there. And then below that, let's see what's going on here. Right over here, we have a nice level at 206.54. So there it is, 206.54 on Apple. We'll do some levels towards the top just to be prepared. And actually, towards the top, you don't need to. I mean, here's your price right now at 210, 90, 90, 90, and you have plenty of levels. Highs and lows for the last two traders are doing an amazing job, plus previous day close. I mean, I think you're pretty set there. All right, last but not least on my list, again, it's going to be NVIDIA. I'll add some more as we move forward here, and Peter and I are going to be taking you through the market open on this beautiful Friday. So we'll let you know if we add anything else to the list here. 116.76, low of the pre-market there. And then towards the top, high of the pre-market, 118.44. So there you have it on the daily, surrounded by the highs and lows of the last two trading days. We don't really need to add too much on this one. We are pretty much set. And you know what? You mentioned POTR, and I did put it on my secondary list. Just going to take a look at it again because it continues to drop. It's making a new low. I'm just going to be ready for it. I'm going to do some levels. We'll be ready for it just in case something happens here. Low of the pre-market right now, 85.30. So we'll slam one there. And then you can see on the daily, we're surrounded just by the highs and lows of the last two trading days. And I don't think you need to have many levels, but this level is just sticking out like a sore thumb that you could click on YouTube. 79.89 right on there. You can see how much support you have there. It's just beautiful. So definitely want to mark that down. That's a big move though. Notice how we're moving slower and slower here. So just very small days compared to what we had. We had the big drop. So again, this move will be significant. We need some help for that. But the support's been great though. Look at the support here, right? This is a pretty nice daily actually. So we'll see what happens. All right. I think we're covered. Peter, what you got going on your end?
I think everybody's putting all these panic memes about selling.
Sell. I see them in chat. Having a great time.
We haven't really talked about it. It is a quad witching day today. We only get 4 of those a year, so this is the first one of 2025. Excuse me. Quad witching days are the combination of the expiry of 4 different types of options. So if I remember, this stock option contracts, future option contracts, options on stock indexes, and stock index options. So they all expire today, which happens to be, this is sort of the, sort of considered the last Friday of the month, the last, it's the third Friday of the month. It's the last week of the month. Sorry. Oh my God. It's a Friday, last day of the week.
You'll get it.
Oh my God. Go. Last day of the week, third week of the month, last month of the quarter. There you go.
Boom.
Oh my God.
There it is.
I finally got it out. Anyways, quad witching, which just means there's a lot of option expiry. If you follow options or you understand them, then you understand where some of those prices get set, right? Because that's where a lot of the expiry action will happen. So, on these days, you often get a little bit of prices moving towards certain levels as they look to not get hurt on these option expiries. So which means if you're watching a lot of the large stocks like I like to do, right, the Magnificent Seven, as we like to call them, that have lots of options set against them, watch them to sort of chop around a range as we get towards the end of the day. So look, Carlos, maybe that's partly why it's so quiet, because people are sitting on the sidelines, understanding the quad witching, but maybe not. Anyways, next quad witching, by the way, June the 20th will be the next one after this. So September and December. So those are the four. March, June, September, December. So
all right, there you go. All right, let's take people through what our team is watching, Peter, and then we'll get ready to go live.
Indeed. All right. We've got our moderators starting to get their lists in, and we can let you know what they're looking at. First person in this morning, I think, was actually Thor, who said that he's going to be cautious today because not sure how the market's going to respond. Very fair on that front. He's going to be watching, though, Tesla, Amazon, and then the market indices overall with this quad witching. Avi's going to watch the things he always watch, right? He's going to watch the Fibonacci levels as they hit his favorite Magnificent 8 type stocks. Jared's going to be watching Micron, Nike, FedEx, so the 3 earnings from last night, as well as AMD and Apple. Jared was in Micron stock. Presumably, he had to jump out of that one as it unfortunately failed to get all the way up to his initial target. He got a good pop on it, but like we pointed out, it really did not hold it. It looked like it was holding there for a bit, and then gave it up. Mike is going to be watching Tesla, Amazon, and the scanners to see what pops up. Lenny's going to be watching Micron, Apple, Nvidia, Federal Express, and Nike. I'm going to be watching, Tesla, Nvidia, and Apple. And I'm also going to watch the three earnings stocks from last night in Micron, FedEx, and Nike. Got a couple of IPOs and one SPAC to let you know about if and when they open. Sean's going to be watching Tesla and Nvidia as well as the SPX. Brendan's going to be watching Nvidia, Micron, Nike, and Tesla. You can see a lot of commonality here. Brian's going to be watching Nvidia, Tesla, PLTR, and Micron. Phil is going to be watching Nvidia, Apple, and Tesla. And Paris going to be watching Nike, Micron, Federal Express, Nvidia, and Tesla. So we're all watching those three earnings from last night to see which one gives us some fun, and of course a spattering of the usual magnificent 7 stocks. So we'll see what happens today. Again, quad witching. It is a Friday, of course. It could be nothing. It could be a big nothing burger today, or there could be some great trading. Either way, I'm going to be ready. So hopefully you'll be ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it does seems interesting. But see the SPY here dropping some more, so maybe that can create some activity. And I think the stuff that we have has the opportunity to trade very well. So we just got to be patient, right, and kind of wait for our setup. So yeah,
Jason W says, Peter, not with an attitude like that. No, I think that's the right attitude, right? Like I'm ready, because again, you don't want to be sitting here saying I am going to trade no matter what, because that's when you start trading choppy crap and you get yourself into trouble, right? And then suddenly you're down with 8 losing trades because you just got yourself chopped up. Like if nothing happens or nothing presents, then I will trade nothing. Of course, easy for me to say because I tend to undertrade as it is. So I actually need to convince myself to take trades. So really my mantra that I'm now working on here is if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, trade it like a duck. Anyways, but I've got to wait for those setups. If I see them, I'm going to take them. If I don't, I won't.
And Dave Chappelle has a great set. I love him. Great. Dave Chappelle has a great set where he talks about this person looking a certain way. And then he says, well, this is confusing because if it's like me, Dave Chappelle, being in the street and I see somebody coming down with a cop uniform, I'm going to assume it's a cop, And the guy goes, just because I'm dressed like a cop does not mean I'm a police officer. And it's just hilarious, man. It's a lot of fun. If you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I can't say the first part of it because it'll definitely.
Of course.
It's Dave Chappelle. I mean, it's Dave Chappelle. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, it's can't do that. All right, friends. All right, we are set here, guys. We're looking pretty good right now as far as time. Andrew and Brian. Oh, see, Andrew's already on. Brian is already on. So let me disconnect so Brian can stay in chat. Yep. Give me a second, Brian, because we're going to get an echo if you connect there. So, okay. And let me mute him because now I hear my end. Mute. Okay, I think we're good. So, perfect. All right. So Brian is in the chat room, and Andrew, I don't see him yet, but he'll probably be joining a little bit later. And then me and Peter will take you guys through the market open, look at MU moving here. I'm just going to get set up to get my tickers in order so I can watch the stuff I like. Just going to go through it now. So MU. So I didn't get to trade yesterday. And when I came in for that little bit, I was so out of sync. And it just shows you how much, if you're an opening trader, how you have to really prepare, your routine really helps, right? So I was definitely not in sync yesterday. I didn't trade anything, but hopefully today we'll get some opportunities. And PLTR here. PLTR. Excellent. All right. Let's see. A couple of minutes to the market open. Peter, anything else that you like that you added to your list, or you're all good?
No, I haven't found anything additional that I'm going to put on my list. We'll see if the things that I've already highlighted are going to pan out or not. But I've got high hopes for Micron, so we'll see what it does. Less hope for Nike and FedEx, but who knows?
Yeah. Let's see here. So
PLTR might be into. I didn't put PLTR
Mhm.
on my list. Maybe I should mention that because I didn't.
I
Yeah,
thought you
I
did. I
don't know.
thought you mentioned it. That's how I got. That's how I put it on my
I did
secondary
mention it.
list. Okay.
Well, I've got a lot of stocks that I just watch, right? Like stuff that I don't put on my list per se. Like that's
Yeah.
where PLTR is going. Like the stuff like Microsoft and Google and Meta, like they're on a secondary screen I've got here, but they're not the primary ones I'm thinking I'm going to trade. But that's why
Yeah.
you put them on there because you just never know, right? When something happens. So,
Mm-hmm.
well, we'll see. Again, with the market being down as much as it is, like we're down we're down a full percent now on the SPY and a little over 1.2% on the Qs. So that's a fairly big gap pre-market here. So I don't know, like could be bad for the markets if we continue downward all day. I hope that's not the case, but
Yeah. Yeah. And like I mentioned, Fridays are, I know every day is supposed to be the same, but Fridays for me, I think are different. Psychologically, they're
oh yeah,
different because you can come back the next day and make up, mistakes, right? So guys, patient, trade calm, and don't feel the pressure. Like it's not the last day of trading for 2025, okay? We'll be back on Monday in a couple of days. So if you had a bad week, we don't need to be, swinging for the fences now. Just get on base if you can. If you cannot find a good pitch, don't swing. Just
yep,
relax and we'll be back, right? This is a long term game. You know what? One thing too, Peter. Like a lot of people forget. Like, and I tell my peak capital mentees this a lot. Like, you don't increase your profitability by trading more, right? That's
right,
not the way you do it. You increase your profitability by increasing risk. Once you get a good setup, all you have to do is increase risk. So you could trade 4 times a week, right? You want to make more money? Okay, when you feel comfortable, increase your risk. That's it. That's how you make more money. Not by taking more trades that are going to end up being poor trades, bad trades that are not going to help you at all, right? So keep that in mind,
well,
right? That's very
and to be
important.
clear, when you say increase risk, you're talking about increasing the size of your trade, right? Like
The
not the
sizing
actual
of your
risk
trade.
percentage.
Exactly. Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
Yeah, and I
Yes,
agree with
yes,
that.
yes.
That's exactly it. And that's usually what happens, right? A lot of traders, you find that as they get more experience, they often trade less. In fact, most
Right.
regularly they start to trade less because they become more particular about the trades they're looking for. And in that way, they're actually reducing their risk because they're just focusing in on setups that they have more confidence in their working. Doesn't mean that they actually necessarily win, a greater percentage, but it's that confidence level for them to then manage it more effectively. And like Carlos said,
Yeah.
if you've increased your size and then you can hold that for a longer period for bigger gains, then it just makes the wins that you do have bigger relative to the losses, and that's how you increase your sort of profitability over time.
Right. Right.
So anyway, easy to say, sort of, but yeah, it
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
difficult to do. We
Easier said than
acknowledge that.
done, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, in any event, all right, we'll keep an eye on everything here. We're heading towards the
Hey,
open,
look at
just
look at
over a
look at
minute
look at
away.
this. Let me get. Can I
Video.
get him in? Where's Andrew's wearing the BBT? He took it off. He was wearing the BBT Elevate shirt. He's
Oh,
rocking it this morning. Yeah.
I didn't see
He was just showing it off in chat, but he changed it already.
that. Okay.
He's excited.
Whoa.
We're excited. It's gonna be a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, that session, that live thing in Vancouver. I mean, it's always fun, but it's going to be especially fun
Yeah.
this year, I think.
All right, less than a minute to the market open, guys. So get ready, get your affairs in order. So we're going to see what
Get
the
your
market's.
affairs in order. Get your affairs in order.
Get it in order,
You're
damn
dying?
it. All right, let's see what's going on here. Gonna try to get our camera set. And all right, let's see what the volume is. My favorite ones, of course, today: MU, Tesla, Apple, and Nvidia on deck. And let's see how this thing is gonna trade. My plan is to wait 5 minutes for the 5-minute ORB breakout or breakdown. So I'm gonna be patient to wait for that.
All right.
And here
There's
we
the
go.
opening bell.
Ding, ding, ding.
Got Nike up at VWAP. We got FedEx not doing so. Both Nike and FedEx are NYSE stocks, New York Stock Exchange stocks, which means that you got to wait for the volume to come in on these things. You'll know. You'll know it when you see it. And I'll tell you, the volume has not come in on either one of them yet. You'll see the sudden massive, hundreds of thousands of shares, as opposed to, they both look like they're trading. We've got a couple that look. See, there you go. Look at that. Look what happened on FedEx, right? Hundreds of thousands of shares. Oh, same thing on Nike. They came in early. 2 million shares. All right. So that was early.
Yeah. Usually they wait a minute. Usually they don't come in that fast. All right, friends. Andrew's trading in chat. So is Brian. If you guys want to join them, you can take a look at our membership. So trial membership there too. That we'll throw a link in the chat here for you guys to look at. $19 can get you in there.
That's too bad.
On which one?
FedEx. The spread is like $1.30, $1.50.
Yeah. Even Nike.
I was looking to try and. I was looking to take FedEx short. That would be sort of my signature trade. Once the volume came in, I even had a stop set at 222.31. I was looking to try and get short at 222, but then when I looked, the spread was over $1, so I couldn't get a good entry. That's too bad because it did drop as anticipated. Nike's actually wiki and holding here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that happens.
MU, man, look at the weakness on MU. Volume is so nice on this ticker. 5-minute RB is probably not going to work on this thing given how extended it is, so we'll look for another strategy. But MU is really dropping pretty nice here.
Darn it, FedEx. All right, well, missed opportunity on FedEx. Nothing I can do about it. Again, spread was too big for me to enter, but there goes my open trade.
All right, MU left us behind. MU's not giving us no love. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. Also nice pop. We'll love to see a pullback here if we can get it. It would be awesome. Let's see here.
Oh,
what's up?
I'm finally just warming up.
Okay. Yeah.
I went out this morning and the temperature keeps like jumping all over the place. Today it was -3 with a wind chill that made it feel like -13. So in Fahrenheit, that's like, what is that? Like 10 degrees? I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's pretty cold.
And I went out in just this like thin shirt. But I know that you get warm after running for a little bit. But it was one of those where the wind was so strong that I was simultaneously sweating and cold. Like it was just weird.
Look at the Tesla. Yeah, you were sweating and the cold was making you the sweat get colder. Yeah, I been there, man. Sucks. All right, Tesla breaking out here. Oh, Andrew's trading Nike, short Nike. Okay. I think I saw it right. I'm not sure.
Wow, and he got a drop on Nike now. So.
And he did jump short Nike. Let's see if it can get going there. Apple's not doing anything. NVIDIA, it's been very choppy, so I'm not inclined to touch NVIDIA for right now. I'm gonna wait for NVIDIA for a little bit because usually the first couple of minutes are messy. So let's see. Apple. Oh, can Apple get going here? I mean, they're looking good. I like this setup here. This is a setup I love. This up, back down to test the VWAP and the way back up. And this can happen before that 5-minute ORB. So I am liking this for a possible long here. Yeah, let's go long Apple here. Not a 5-minute open range breakout, but I do like this setup here if we can get moving. So let's see. Let's see if firing people is going to help them do some stuff. They need to, man. This has been so bad. They got to get rid of some people.
Wow, Nike down and back up here. FedEx didn't go as low as I thought it might, so that's good. At least I don't feel so bad about having this.
MU
I
is
know.
highway
MU's
to
still
hell.
selling off.
Wow, 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 wow. This
Again,
was
good
the
news gets
trade here.
punished, right?
Wow. Yeah. Anyone take short MU? I mean, this is just getting destroyed. Man, man, man. I don't see how I would have taken it. I mean, I did see it when it was coming back here, but I didn't see how I would have played into it. Good Rangers, yes, you did. Excellent. Glad you took a short there. Man, that is nice. It's really nice.
Yeah, I was watching MU. I was looking for a little bit more of a pullback, and it didn't really give the pullback I was hoping for.
Right.
So,
Same.
but I was a little more
Same.
focused on FedEx. I must admit, because the setup was better going in. I didn't expect the spread, so it threw me off.
Yeah. Everything in my list is red except Tesla. Tesla's the only one that's in as far as previous day close, right? Only one's
Mm,
green. Everything else is
yeah.
red. Just noticed that. At least the stuff that I like. Apple's not holding here. If it closes below the VWAP, I'll probably jump out. It's probably not ready for it. And we got to be careful with this day, man. I don't know if this day is going to be with this quadruple, whatever. I don't know if it's choppy. I remember not having too much luck with these type of days. So let's see. See how things play out. Tesla, MU. And you could just tell, too, like, there's just, seems like today's one of those days where the volume is a lot lower. Things are just not as high as they used to be. Even on our gappers list, we have a ton of stuff to look at. And today, there was very little. Only the stuff that had earnings and a lot of the list was made up by our quantum stuff like QUBT, which I'm going to take a look at and see what's happening. Oh, look at that. QUBT up from the open here. Peter, anything you like? What strategy are you looking for the market open?
Well, usually on the open, I have my Rising Devil, Fallen Angel type strategy. So today it was all about Rising Devils because things were down. So, but he said FedEx set up technically didn't account for the spread, so that prevented me getting into the trade. It would have worked. Micron was, well, the three of them, right? FedEx, Micron, and Nike were the three that I was watching that for. Nike, I did not like the price action at the open, so discounted that pretty quickly. Micron didn't give me the pullback that I needed to create the entry conditions. And then I said FedEx had the pullback, had the entry conditions, but then messed me up on the actual, risk to reward. Once I had to calculate the spread in there, it didn't make sense. So, and actually, based on the way FedEx is moving, I'm not so disappointed that I missed out on that, right? Because it wouldn't have been, probably would have been a green trade, but not by much. So the risk to reward still wouldn't have made it that lucrative. So now, now I got a wait and watch period because I don't have a trade strategy that I typically trade between now and about quarter after 10. So wait and see what happens. Unless we get an extreme reversal. Maybe if we get one of those, that would
Yeah.
be like something parabolic, but I don't see anything going parabolic at this point.
See,
Maybe
Nike's trying
Micron
to
is
lose this low of the day here. I see Andrew is short. He's short right in this area, added here, and he's about to get a nice drop here on this Nike stock. So they're taking some partial on the way down, and he's doing his thing. All right, I'm still in Apple. It is, that was a hard trade. Yeah, it's not an easy trade. Still in Apple here. If it cannot make a new high and it continues to just kind of wobble around here, then we might need to bail because then most likely we're going south, right? So I love this candle here, right? It stayed above the VWAP. That's great. We want to see that. So people are trying to push it higher. But we're struggling to make a new high. So we need to see that pretty soon or else I'll get out even at break even. I'm not going to stick around and lose more money if I don't have to, right? We need to see some signs that we actually want to end up. And these two candles are not helping us right now. So we'll look for that. I'd rather take a smaller loss and then we can always get back in opposed to holding to my stop, right? So, because like I was telling, again, we're talking P Capital, we're mentees on this. You can get out before your stop. Like you don't have to wait for your stop loss. If you get, as you're getting new data, new indication, and you're building a story that, hey, this is not working the way I want. As every candle that comes here tells your story, you can get out, and save some money, which right now this story's not building up too good. And I'm probably just gonna bail on this thing here. We'll double click and see. Like, it wants to go, but we're just not making new highs. So yeah, I'm just gonna get out of it, man. Just don't like it. And now you're gonna go to the moon. That's what trading does, man. That is what trading does. But yeah, I didn't like what I was seeing. Struggling to make a new high. But if it sets up, we'll go again. I don't mind going again if we need to. Let's see here. What's the SPY doing? Qs are going higher.
Micron might have, well, it's definitely stopped its decline for the moment. Is it going to recover? We'll see.
Man, that was the play today, man. Micron and Tesla too. Trying to hold here. Let's see. Apple, you. Why would you do that to me, man? Why would you do that to me? That's okay. Everything seems to be turning around. Why would you do that? But you know what? You gotta just don't know. Gotta take the information you have. Can't worry about that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, it's right. Wrong timing. Look at that. Apple. Oof. Very, very good. Amazon. By our good buddy Jeff over on YouTube. Let's take a look. Yeah, but what's the play now, right? Like, it's moving, like Apple's moving too. This was my play. That's it. I can't get in here because if it pulls back, it's coming back here. So I don't have a strategy there. Nvidia, I don't like this zone in Nvidia, so I'm not trading that. Tesla maybe still below the high of the days. That could be an opportunity if the market wants to be strong. Has a good entry. Apple 215s printed for the last several days. Nice. Tesla could be one. Got a nice setup there. But MU was the play today. That's no question.
Coming back here.
How's FedEx? FedEx is messy.
Yeah.
Very light volume. The volume has just complete that in this thing. So careful if you want to try that. It's not going anywhere. POTR above the VWAP.
QUBT had to move up. Ooh.
POTR might be good here. Volume is not great. Apple, Tesla, yeah, Tesla trying to break the highs here. I know a lot of people that are holding Tesla. They're a little bit underwater right now, but they're holding. Their plan is to hold till they believe it's coming back eventually. Long-term stuff, not day trading, right? Obviously, this could be a good price long-term wise. I'm just not sure if I'm willing to jump in on this and deal with all the headlines and crap. It's too much. All right, let's see here. Tesla did break out nicely. Apple pulling back. Nvidia is stuck in this between the low of the pre-market and the VWAP. Indications wants to go lower. Could it make a new high? I would love to take a short here, but I can't because it's like, where's your risk to reward? You got to give it to VWAP, right? And it's just, I don't see a good risk to reward. It's right in that middle zone, right? That low of the pre-market usually and the VWAP, anything in this middle area, I find very difficult to take either long or short. It's just messy. Now, if it comes to VWAP and you want to take a short, that's good. Great risk to reward. Vice versa, double bottom, reversal, anywhere in here, risk to reward, that's fine. But this middle zone, I always find it tough to trade in that middle zone. I just don't know. I don't seem doesn't seem clear to me at times. Looks like it wants to go lower. Let's see if we can make a new low on the 5 minute. So here's the 5 minute on Nvidia, right? So we made a new high here. Now this candle is building up there. Let's see if that makes a new low, breaks down from this, you might see a little bit of a drop, maybe. So we'll see. SMCI upgrade, Tesla going to 245. Yep.
Well, if it's any consolation, Carlos, Apple is pulling back. Didn't go too far with it.
Yeah, it didn't make me feel like crap over here. Didn't go too far. But yeah. I just hope we're not getting into. I mean, doesn't matter, right? But we might be getting into like a choppy day or morning, so I'm not sure. Hopefully not. All the volume came in on 1 minute. Yeah, it did. It really did. Long Tesla ABCD pattern, very nice. Look, hopefully took some partials out of that already. Looking for Meta to collapse. Meta, dude. This every time I look at this chart, I just love it. I love their daily. They're incredible. Look at this thing, all the way to 750. And then right back down. I mean, this stock just moves. It's wild. And you might think, oh man, the world is falling apart. No, it's not. If you look back, this stock has been so high for the last 12 months. It's just for the last year. It's incredible, right? This is nothing. It's regular, overall market pullback that we're seeing. PLTR, man, I knew it. Remember I said this might be a good long here. And look, Andrew got in over there, just above the VWAP. Nice breakout on PLTR. Let me give you guys the 1 minute right over here. So yeah, let's see what else we find. There'll be opportunities here. We just gotta be patient and see where we're gonna get them. Tesla's daily looks good, right? Possible breakout here if we can get going. The markets seem like they want to push higher. But we need a good entry. We need a pullback. We can just get in here. It'll be tough. Looking for Meta to collapse. So we'll see if Meta can get going here. All right, looking at Tesla, Apple heading back up. Do we think Apple's going to go green? Could be a re-entry here, but again, we're in that not the best zone. No, I don't like that, actually. That's not a good trade, because I don't have that trade on my trade book. MU trying to get above the VWAP. Do we have an overreaction on MU? Is MU trying to restore some losses here? I mean, it's dropped a lot with good earnings. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, they really had decent numbers, and they're dropping like they dropped the ball. It doesn't make any sense, man.
They've really been punished for that.
Yeah.
So.
There's no reason. You know what? Let's help them out. Let's go long here. I'm kidding. It's not a reason to go long, but but I feel like there might be an overreaction. Like, they might get a nice upwards trend here going. Maybe, man. This looks to be too much of an aggressive drop here. Nvidia, FedEx, Messi, Nike. So here it is, guys. Great example of these two companies that are big. Everybody knows their name, but they just trade so bad. Like, look at the volume on FedEx. Yes, they had earnings. They're down 10%. Beautiful daily, but look at this, just nothing. So this is why we usually don't put a lot of weight into it. Nike much better, but still a tough trader. Here's why: because when you have candles that do this is a 1 minute, by the way. This is every 1 minute. When you have candles that just go down, come back and overlap, go down, come back and overlap. It's very difficult to reprice action. Like this is, although we're now, you can see a bigger picture, we're trending like this. If you look at it between like 940 and 930, this is bad. This is every candle overlapping the previous candle. Here it starts getting cleaner. So now we're starting to get somewhat of a rhythm. But then as you get into that rhythm, what happens? The volume starts to die down. So you get later in the day. So it's very difficult to trade, very messy, very hard to read the price action. So again, it's just love the stock as far as it, Nike being what it is and the history behind it. But as far as trading, man, it's just so bad at times. Nvidia, Apple.
Yep.
Apple would have made our day today for sure. It's going higher here. Wants to go green. This news of them revamping is good. This is a good catalyst for them. But overall, market is just moving higher. Andrew's putting his hands up, so it's a big day. I know that. He's smiling. So that's good. When he's smiling, putting his hands up, things are going well. So let's see. All right, MU. You know what? Let's be patient. I'm gonna wait for MU to break above the VWAP. If it does retest, I'll go long. But I'm not gonna jump the gun on this thing. What's up, Peter?
No, I just he posted what looks like a partial P&L. At least must be a P&L from one of his accounts. So because it doesn't reflect some of the other trades that he has here.
So he got yeah, he's got the two accounts here. So the one that he did today was the POTR. He did 12K on POTR. He still has 6,000 unrealized, and that's for today. Then the other ones are swing trade stuff that he has going on there. So big Friday. And TQQ, he's long on that too. 7,300 and 5,000 unrealized so far. It's a big day, man. POTR to the moon.
Andrew has a way of making magic no matter what.
Yes, he does. But you know what? The way I make myself feel better is I think about his account size. So what I do is, he always says, oh, that's only this amount of percent. I sometimes hit those percents. That means, oh, I'm trading as much as Andrew. Percents. Percent.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, so, always think of it that way. And don't compare yourself as far as numbers to anybody else. Percentage,
Right.
with what you got, what did you make? And some of you guys are going to, do pretty well. So that's the way you got to look at it. Now, you want to make 7,000, get the account bigger, and then you can do those as well. But that's what it comes down to. What you cannot do is take a, $100,000 account and think you're going to make that amount. That's just, the math doesn't work out. That just doesn't work out.
Right.
Yeah, Tesla 245. Maybe NYC DAS. I can't read the whole thing. NYC something. But I immediately I saw DAS. Do you work with DAS Trader Pro? Are you with DAS? But yeah, Tesla looking very good this morning. MU Apple.
Apple's trying, but it can't quite get over the green over yesterday's close here.
This would be a play that Brian would take. Brian will go short here, play it off the previous day close to try to get to the VWAP. And he's very quick. Like he'll get in. If it doesn't work out, he'll be out immediately. But he likes these quick reversals type plays where he finds resistance. He's taken them many times. Could be a quick one, but great day on Apple and Tesla. Nice. That's awesome, man. Nice. I would have had a great day with Apple, but again, red this year it's not looking good. The 5-minute 2 wasn't making a new high, so it was uncomfortable getting below the VWAP, and just didn't want to have a loss there if I didn't need to. But yeah, let's see if it can go green. What's the news on POTR? Because POTR is moving like nobody's business. Did they get a contract or something? Something finalized?
That's a good question.
I know the government today is supposed to make a decision whether they're going to go with Boeing or what's the other company? Oh man, the missile jet company is Boeing, and I forget the other one. Just slipped my mind right
Missile.
now.
I don't know.
They make
General
fighter
Dynamics?
jets. No, it's
Oh, they make fighter jets.
yeah. What is it like? Lockheed Martin.
Northrop
Thank you.
Grumman?
No, Lockheed Martin. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, Lockheed. Of
So
course,
it's
yes.
between those two. They got to make a decision who they're going to give the contract to. I will say Lockheed Martin. Like Boeing is leaving people stuck in space. I don't know.
Keep
they
in
have
mind, though, their
yeah.
military services division is very different than.
Yeah. I will still give somebody else another shot. I'm like, you guys, let's give somebody else a shot. So we'll see. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Nike, FedEx. Yeah, Apple turning back a bit here. What's the SPY doing? Oh, look how messy the SPY is. Have you seen this? It is atrocious today.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm watching it here on my.
Yeah, I didn't have it
screen.
up. This is wow. This is pretty bad. Man, Tesla's grinding higher. Really nice today. Up 3% right now. Volume's coming in lovely on this thing. It is just pushing away here, which is really nice. Nvidia is just as messy as a SPY, so there's really nothing to see there right now. FedEx, Nike, PLTR. PLTR is the best thing we had. And Andrew, did he have that on his list? Did he copy from us? Do we get some credit? Can we send him a fee, a charge? Oh, he didn't have it on his list. Okay, we'll send him a fee charge for our services. All right. But yeah, friends, PLTR really strong here. It's the only one that looks so good. Everything else is struggling. Nike's trying to get above the V up. That could be nice. Nvidia, Apple struggling still, Peter, to get above that previous day close. But it's gonna keep trying. It has to try twice at least.
Meta's managed to do it. Meta's one of the other few green stocks I see here.
Meta. Let's take a look at what Meta is up to today. Yeah.
And you were just talking about it. Boeing's actually had a pretty good morning. Not one that I would ever look at normally, but
yeah,
it's good. Good move higher.
Well, I'm sure there's some people. Some people probably got their best sleep last night when these two people landed safely and alive.
At least the two of them did.
Well, maybe not.
I don't know. Like, it's got to be weird suddenly having gravity, because I can't imagine 9 months without gravity, especially when, what's crazy to me was they were planning to be up there for what, like a week?
3 weeks, man. And it was 3 weeks. It's a 3-week thing. Like, stuck for 9 months.
3 weeks?
Yeah, like 3 weeks or something
whatever
like that.
It was. Like, imagine that, that suddenly turns into 9 months. Like, that just emotionally and psychologically, that's got to be like super tough.
Yeah.
Super. Yeah. Like if you thought, oh, I'm going for 6 months and it becomes 9 months, that's one thing. But to think you're going for a week, I mean, hey, look, all of us have some experience on that. It's sort of like what happened with the lockdown, right? Remember when we, during COVID, they told us, no, it's just don't worry, it's just a week or so,
30 days,
well, maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be 3 weeks or a month, no more than that. And like a year later, we're all like, what the hell happened?
Now take that and put it confined into one space without your family. I mean, it's just, dude, I can't even imagine. Can't even imagine.
Like that was extreme isolation, because you had no choice. You're not exactly going to, you're not going for a walk around the neighborhood.
Yeah. All right, here it is. Apple breaking out to the previous, past the previous day close here. So making a new high. So it's grinding slowly higher.
Red again there.
What is the volume on Apple? Volume is really low. But it's going. It's going. Yeah, sneaking into the green nicely. Tesla pulling back a little bit. MU, Yeah, see, I'm so glad I was patient, right? Gotta wait for the VI breakout. Because I was thinking, oh, maybe I'm you long here for a possible, move up. But look at this level,
Wow.
9603. What? Wow, that's beautiful.
Apple, what's going
Yeah,
on here? Apple's volume. I'm just. You said how Apple's volume was low, and I'm looking at it.
it
It's
is,
sitting
right?
at 220% RVol, but I think it's being skewed by the fact that opening candle, that was 9 million shares on that opening minute. So that's throwing the
Yeah.
numbers off here. So
Oh,
because
yeah,
it's
that 9 million. Yeah, yep.
yeah, that's a lot of volume for like a single minute. So that opening
So,
candle,
yes, I was gonna say usually you see like the ramp down, but
right?
I guess this thing is so massive. It's just,
Yeah, it's throwing
yeah.
the rest of it off, I think. Oops.
Oh, let's see here. All right, friends over on YouTube, if you haven't done so, hit that thumbs up. We only ask because, people do need a reminder. I need a reminder too. I hit it myself right now, but it helps us save time, man. It really does, and we appreciate it. So we appreciate more you guys hanging out with us and looking at the stream with us. We appreciate that, but if you can do that, that would be awesome. As we wrap our week here. Andrew, amazing trade on PLTR, so he crushed it there. He's going to be on in a couple of minutes here just to kind of answer some questions, go through a few things, show you his trades. But he did PLTR and he did some TQQ stuff as well, so he'll run you through that in a few minutes here. All right, things starting to kind of turn down a little bit. Nvidia trying to head low, which has been just so bad. This is why our gappers list was so quiet today. Apple doing some things here. What do you guys are
Wait,
watching? Maybe we can get some good ideas from you guys as well. Yeah, Peter?
yeah. Like we mentioned, it is quad witching, so you're going to expect a little bit of unusual price action. I think that big candle is part of it on Apple, for example. I mean, look at similar big volume candles on both the SPY and the triple Qs, but I notice I'm seeing the same thing. Again, this quad witching effect. Just look at the chart for Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, right? They all have this massive opening minute candle, and then
Yeah,
very
yeah,
like what looks like unusually low volume for the rest of it. So it's
yeah.
it's sort of what's happening. I mean, and actually, now that I'm looking at more, Google, Meta, Amazon, no, like all of the big stocks, same. Normally you get a big opening candle, not that big compared to the rest of the price action. Like you said, Carlos,
Yeah,
normally see a
yeah.
little bit of a ramp down of volume, but here was like giant volume at opening minute, and then like virtually nothing or flat volume thereafter. So
Yeah, because you got all these expirations happening. So maybe do they happen at
mhm.
9:30? I thought it would probably be throughout the day, but I guess it's all just slamming in. Again, I'm not sure. We need Jared's expertise to break that down. I'm not sure how to do that.
Yep.
Roku moving. It's like watching paint dry, but it is moving higher. It is up 3.3 here. Yeah, it's just a lack of volume, but yeah, what a nice chart on Roku. Streaming services, man, we need to figure this out. I want to go back. I want to go back to having one service, one subscriptions, and all my channels. I don't want to have to search for what I want to watch on different networks. It's a pain in the butt. It really is, man. I was trying to sign up for
It is.
Bloomberg. I got Bloomberg TV here, and a few people host them. And I'm like, oh, if I'm going to get a service with Bloomberg TV, let me have some other channels as well. So I looked into Roku. I looked into there's so many of them. YouTube doesn't have Bloomberg. This one doesn't have Bloomberg. This one has that one. This one. It's just like it shouldn't be that difficult, man. Get me a cable company that has everything, and then I pick what I want to see. It should not be this difficult. But it's life is not easy.
No.
They really messed this up. But yeah, Roku's doing some stuff here. Fubo was the other one I looked at, which actually, out of all of them, I gotta tell you, Fubo, they have the nicest interface. Because I did trials and all this stuff. They have the nicest interface out of a lot of these. So, if you like Fubo.
But I know what you're saying about the about the different services. Even just last night, my wife and I were watching something, or I turn on the TV. I'm like, what? Which? where was the show we were watching? Was it on Disney? Was it Netflix? Was it Prime? Was it Apple?
Apple,
I
yeah,
couldn't
yeah,
really, like.
yeah,
She's like, oh yeah, here it was. So we had to go find it just to figure out where to watch it, right? So,
yeah, yeah.
anyways, just a pain.
Yes, yes. Ah, Apple, Apple. Mm-mm-mm. My entry was at 2:15. You know what? I'm gonna do my journal right here, right now. If I would have waited, this is why sometimes just waiting is so important. If I would have waited for my range to be open, I would have. I'm telling you now, this pullback I would have been in. I would have had a better entry for the 5-minute RB breakout. I would have survived this mess here, 100%. I mean, it's just the pullback is perfect here on the 5-minute RB. So, fortunately, gotta wait sometimes. Even if I would have missed this, if I would have waited for the range to be created, right, then my entry would have been to break out of this range, and I would have probably caught this move here. So just to show you, not a bad trick, because I've done this plenty of times, but waiting can also be very, very helpful. So
Well,
that would have helped
Carlos,
too.
yeah. So if you could go back, would you have held longer or entered later? What would your
Uh, if I were to
or
go
both?
back, no, I probably would have entered later, because usually I do well when I wait the 5 minutes. So I probably
Okay,
would have waited my five
right.
minute range to be created, right? As far as the hold, no, because the hold, I'll be honest, I'm just reading the price action. So I would have done the same thing no matter what. I'm reading the price action, and it's showing weakness. So my stop was here. Now, if I would have held later, I wouldn't have to read all of this, right? Right? I wouldn't have to
Right.
go through all of this. I would have been reading just these couple of candles here. We're gone. Part of me to getting out is because we're taking so long. We're not making a new high. So that
Mm,
information here was the one that made me, you got to jump out of this trade. It looks like it's going to flush below the VWAP, right? So getting in later, getting in here, I would have had probably not all this negative data, what I interpret to be as negative data,
right.
So, yeah, yeah,
Well, and again, you know what? You can never make decisions based on a single trade. Like, I don't know, but on average, you could be right. That could have been an
yep,
excellent exit because, most of the time that would have saved you a lot of money. This time, it just
right,
happened to, not have worked. But
exactly, exactly. Um, okay, things are moving south. Let's check. SPY going a little bit lower, but I see Nvidia down. Apple's just still holding on. Tesla pulling back. MU. What's MU doing?
that's a
This
good
is
question.
this
What
is
is
this
MU
is a
doing?
tough day, man. This is a tough day. Like, if you're trading and you're struggling, be careful. This is not a lot that looks great. We have one ticker, POTR. So if you're not looking at that, a lot of this stuff is moving sideways. Nike looking to break out here above the VWAP. Um, but it is a really, FedEx is not in play no more. Let me get this out of here. FedEx is not. Don't need to look at this. Yeah, it's just
Get
garbage.
it off my screen.
Yeah, get it, because I go up and down the list, right, and I keep passing
Right.
through it, and it's just so bad. I'm like, this is just not in play. Um, uh, Nvidia is messy. Apple just hanging out.
Apple, a little surprising how it sort of spiked green and now
Yeah,
it's red. It's not able to hold that level.
but the trading looks weird. It doesn't look fluid on Apple. Like, it doesn't look like it's trading. It's trending lovely, but the trading is weird, man. And you could tell here. Look at the difference between the candles here, how nice this is, and now it's just smaller, even smaller
Hmm.
daily candles, like 1 minute candles. So it's interesting, how that's setting up there. Showing some downturn here. This could be a good reversal to VWAP. Some stuff selling down towards the VWAP. And you could use the previous day close as your stop. It's a good level. Let's see. Um, let's see what we got here. This could be a reversal, but I don't, it's not a double top. Uh, yeah, I think it's going to go, but I think my entry's not too good here. My entry is it's not great at this point. RDDT was awesome. I love the stock though. You're right. The Milnix. I don't. don't like to trade this one, but I do like to look at the stock, Reddick, because it's just the moves. I mean, look at this thing. It's IPO not so long ago, and when I say not so long ago, I'm talking about a year, not even 2 years out yet, 2024, compared to everything else. But look at this pop, man. Like if you were holding here, if you were one of the believers, 230, you definitely got blessed, and then. Still, even with this drop, you're like,
you got the 1 minute on the screen. You're looking at.
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm looking at the daily. Yeah, here it is. I mean, this is just incredible, right? Then we did drop down here, but we still are above. Like, not many stocks do this, guys. Like, stay above their IPO price. Usually, it's IPO, boom, stay down here for a couple of years and come back up. There's not many that do this here, which is incredible, really awesome, man. So it's nice to see, and it's all ad revenue. I think that's mainly their bread and butter here. Everyone is afraid. Short Nvidia. Wish me luck. What is the may the force be with you, my friend. No, it is not easy. 5 minute. So you said you shorted Nvidia. Let's take a look. Yeah, I was thinking short Nvidia too. It's just I'm so concerned that we're just gonna get pushed right back up. Look at how choppy it's been, right? But I do like it's for short. It does look weak. It's just today's one of those days where things just keep pulling back into where they came from. So it's tough. It's tough to take this trade, man. But I'm with you. This looks like a great short. But today it's just weird, and I'm seeing the price action is just acting very funny. But we're with you. Let's see if we see any balance in the level 2. We see some orders big orders at 115.50 coming in there. Yeah, so let's see. Let's hope that you can get a flush here. But yeah, I see it, man. It's a good trade. It's a good trade, because I would have taken that trade. And the only reason I'm not doing it is because today just things keep pulling back, especially on Nvidia. And what's the other one we saw? Was it Tesla, Apple? There's another that was pulling back pretty nasty earlier today. Did I take it off my list? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah.
I don't see a lot of big pullback.
Yeah.
Nvidia did at the open, but.
Well, no, it's just up and down. Like, it's not really, it's choppy. It's not really like pulling. But yeah, I mean like choppy, yeah.
Right.
So, we'll see. Sure, Apple, Tesla, and MU stop at break even. All right, you're on it, man. MU. MU's in this area, right? This middle area between the low of the day and the VWAP. I do really bad in here, so I try to take trades in this area. I've been burned so many times. I want to either see a double bottom, take it somewhere closer to the bottom, stop here, or I want to see a resistance on the reversal on the VWAP and then take it close here for the down too. So then this way, at least if you only get, for example, if you go short here and you only get to the low of the day, that's a good move. You could at least take a couple of partials, right? But here it's tough, right? The risk reward doesn't work out for me there, but let's see. If I think MU's overreacting here, I think if we can break out above the VWAP, come back and retest and show some strength, I think it could be a good long. But it's a lot that needs to happen here, right, Peter? It's a lot that needs to take place.
As soon as you say that, I just think it's like telling your spouse you're overreacting. Overreacting? You think I'm overreacting? I'll show you overreacting.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Don't use those words. There's some hot words you don't want to use. Overreacting and you need to calm down. Like, don't use calm down.
Yeah. Just calm down.
Oh.
Or
No.
What's your problem?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Those are just hot buttons. You're just daring somebody to just go on you.
Relax.
Yeah, just relax.
John. No.
Yeah.
Let's make a list, friends. Let's help each other out. Let's make a list.
It comes down to it. There's really nothing. There's nothing you can say. Whatever you say,
it's wrong.
You get into trouble.
You're wrong. Oh, man. All right. I want to take a trade so bad, but I don't see nothing. I want to.
Yeah,
I
I
want
know.
to
Me
take
too.
something.
It's
I
I'm
want
like
to take a trade, but
I'm
there's
watching it. I'm
nothing
like,
here.
oh, I should go long this. I should go short this. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it's not a mature setup. I'm just feeling. I haven't taken a trade yet, so
Yeah.
just feeling the lack of opportunity.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Look at Nvidia now, right? It's exactly. I thought it was a great short too. So whoever you took a short, I'm with you. But look at this nonsense, right? It just comes back up. Like, I, I, I don't know. I don't know. Nice, MP. What did you take? PLTR? Or what did you trade? Biggest day was a Tesla. Tesla. You say you're right, babe. Yama. Yes, that's exactly what you say. You're right.
Yeah. What are the two most important, words in a marriage?
Hmm.
Yes, dear. Followed by, you're right.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. Yeah, I yield to everything except the stuff that's really important. Like if there's something that's like, okay, I know if we do this, somebody's gonna get hurt or there's gonna cause some pain somewhere, I'm not budging. But a lot of stuff, you gotta pick your battles, man. You gotta just let them go. Let them go. You know you're right. Doesn't matter. Just let them go. You know.
Yeah.
You know, oh, that this thing is gonna fix the thing, but you know that's gonna damage the wood and make a little stain. Just let it go. Just don't worry about it.
Only once you get married can you truly appreciate the fact that you could be 100% correct and still lose.
100% right.
Being correct is zero guarantee that you will
Zero,
that you will
zero.
win, and it doesn't really matter.
Yep. Apple is so long. Yeah, I was looking at that. Right, Apple is so long, but I personally again not. No, I'm not gonna. Go ahead. If you go in, let me know. Let me know, and then I'll tell you what I think. I don't want you to. I always hate someone to change their decision making because of my comments, right? Because they could be right, could be wrong. But so you got to be mindful, guys. Always take your own trade. Remember that we're just here traders, just like you, and we are not right all the time, right? So when we take our comments, take them for what that is. But I just think it's struggling. I think Apple is really struggling to get above this previous day close. We didn't do a perfect engulfing pattern on the 5 minute. Like, look at it here. Like, this was not great engulfing pattern, right? So I think it's just tough, man. I don't know. It's not clean out there, guys. It is really not clean. And this is why I hate this quadruple witching stuff. Because we've done this a couple of times, and I never trade well. I never find good opportunities. It seems choppy to me. I don't know. This don't like it. PLTR pulling back a little bit here. Dead opening. Yeah, this is not great. Not great. PLTR, that was the one, right? If you had this, and I was watching it, but then I took mine somewhere else. But this is the breakout, and Andrew caught this lovely man. Like Andrew literally got in here. This is Andrew entry right here. We'll talk about that in just a second. And then, I keep forgetting to switch. Sorry. Here, PLTR. Like he literally got in right in this area, and then it just took off partial a couple of times, and then it just went sideways. But I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. See, spike up on all the semis. All the semis are moving together here. NVIDIA, AMD, Micron all had the same move up at the same time.
Yeah, this is awesome. I'm gonna screenshot this. This is it, man. Raji, hopefully I pronounced that correct. I am always right and have my wife's permission to say so. Oh, that is great, man. Love the permission part. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing. I'm gonna screenshot that. That's worthy. Um, worthy of a screenshot. All right, NVIDIA. Cuz, what percentage of your position do you normally use for partials? So I have set up 10%. But if I get a good move, I just do 10% twice. Like I don't mind the commissions. Just do 10% twice, and that's what I do. So I have 10% and I have 50%. Because sometimes, if you decide okay, the move's ready to turn around, I'll just take 50% off. Like there's no need to, bring too much back. So on the hotkey, there's 10% and 50%. Right. So that's what I do. And I got very easy hotkeys. Buy, sell all, sell 10%, and then the other one on the side is the 50%, which again I don't use much. This like I'll have to look at to see what the 50% is. I don't use it as much as the 10%. So just 3 hotkeys for up and then 3 for down. Simple. All right, Apple is turning around. Or at least giving signs that it wants to turn around after not trying to push higher, struggling here at the moment. NVIDIA. Okay, can NVIDIA get above the VWAP? What happened?
Chris Jedden. Chris has got a great. I haven't heard that before, but I like it.
What he said?
He says, "My dog knows I'm in charge. My kids think I'm in charge, and my wife lets me believe I'm in charge."
You guys are really gonna make me screenshot a lot today. That's another one. So good. I like it.
I like it. Yeah.
Very good.
Quote.
Very nice. All right. Tesla did pull back. NVIDIA back up again. I thought it was gonna actually break down here, but definitely got back up. Apple nothing. What's PDC? Previous day close. So previous day close. In DAS they put PLC, right? Have you seen that? It's like or PCL, something like that. It's weird the way they have it labeled.
Yeah, I mean it feels like old-fashioned terminology to me. Previous close level is what that actually stands for. But again, why say it that way? I don't know. Seems odd.
That's weird. We had as we wait for a trade here, we used to work with SAP a lot in my company. We started with like an AS400 system, very old stuff. Oh, nice! You're from Jersey, excellent, man, sweet. So we switched over to SAP, but our company was Chinese, so they had SAP there implemented there first, and when they tried to put us as a branch, everything was translated over by like ChatGPT back in that day. Man, the terminology was like, what is that? Oh, that's the delivery day, or like what? Like it was crazy, man. But yeah, it was a tough time. AS400, yeah, man. I've been in it for a minute. That was 2005 when I started my job. I was there for 12 years. 2005 got high. We were using AS400. But you know what? Yes, it's ancient, but it was fast. Like there was no mouse you could use on it. It was just numbers. Everything was keyboard. And once you got it down packed, nobody can put an order in faster than I can with using a mouse. You won't be able to do it.
Carlos, I hear you there. I used to use an old system and even like spreadsheets, Lotus 123, and an old what is it? An 8088. Anybody remember the old IBM 8088s? Anyways, that's an old system. But yeah, I when these mouse things came out, Windows, I'm like, Windows, like. It is so inefficient using this mouse. Like I knew all the commands. Like you're never. I remember I was so wrong. I'm like nobody. It's not going to catch on because you can't do it. Like you can't mouse over, click the thing, mouse all the way over here, click the other thing. When I can just enter the command and I'll be done in like half a second. Like I could beat you every time.
Yeah.
I've been wrong about a lot of things because I also said I'm never going to give up the keyboard on my my BlackBerry. So. Yeah, Kevin, remember Lotus 123? That was like I was a master of Lotus 123. /F//473. Like I knew all the commands, man. It was
very nice.
There you go, Dave Dragoon. See, Dave Dragoon. Anyways, yeah, the old 8088s. See, you can see. I got some people who know, or at least I've seen them in museums. It's
what I did, I started as an order entry person, man. I was an order entry clerk putting orders in the system, and our company was called Hire, and what they did was they manufacture appliances, right? They're big in China. Like in China, they're huge. Everybody knows them in China, and that's what we did. We had a downtown office, man, right on 38th Street. Good times. Just thinking about how fun that was,
Good
commuting
time.
into the city every day. But yeah, it was great. And yeah, that's what I did. So from there, was there for 12 years, moved from an auto entry person all the way to senior management. It was awesome. Like I would have never left that job for trading. But they relocated, as you guys know. Probably know the story by now. All right,
Yeah.
breakout time. Nvidia above the VWAP, guys. Good push here. Do we trust the push? Do we trust the retest and breakout on Nvidia here? MU trying to do some stuff. Tesla as well. I'm just going to take a quick look at PLTR, very choppy. And Nvidia seems to be the best one with the nice breakout. So let's see the retest. I'll take one more trade. I want one more trade. Let's see if we could do. But we got to get it. We got to get the setup. Peter, you see anything you like?
Not yet. I'm scanning here, but Nike just had a weird spike higher. But other than that, I don't see anything.
Oh, yeah. It's a weird print. Yeah. Let's see here. All right, so the breakout is nice. I always like to wait for the retest and then the head back up. Let's see if we can get it. 5 minute looks good. I'm talking about Nvidia here. 5 minute also looks good if we can. If you look at it here, if we can hold and not go below the VWAP, would be great. So that's what we're looking for, a possible breakout here if we can get it.
There you go.
Keith, you're
Rajesh,
mentioning
he's in the
Google.
same vintage.
Google, it's no volume, man. I mean, I see it moving higher, but the volume is so light on this, man. Yeah, it's moving, but I like Nvidia here better though. See, here it is. All right, so we're staying above the VWAP. Nice candle. I would have liked to wait for that to close, but I'm gonna go long here because I think if I wait, it's gonna be too late. So, great pullback on the 5 minute. If you see there on the 1 minute, we are looking nice. So let's hope we get that same volume we just got a few minutes ago. We need to get that going. So there's a retest of the VWAP. Let's see if it's going to hold. Meta is cleaner. Let's take a look on Meta. Let's see. Meta is it? Looks the same. Just less volume, right? You think it looks cleaner? It looks the same, I think.
It looks, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it looks like the rest of them to me.
I don't see the difference, man, to be honest. If you look, I mean, look at Meta and look at Nvidia. They're very identical. Maybe a little bit cleaner, but not by much. The 5 minute looks very same. Up, pullback. Nvidia, again, same thing. Up and pullback. So it looked pretty close to me, man. We'll see. See where it goes. All right, what are we doing? Andrew's looking at PDD, but he's not in a trade there. Nvidia, see if it can hold. I'm going to stay above the VWAP if we can. How did you go? How did I become a BBT moderator? Andrew tricked me. He tricked me into this. That's how I became a moderator. He
tricked you.
He did. He just regular member, minding my stuff, and he's like, oh, you should come help with this, and like, oh yeah, help. It's just like helping out, doing nothing, and then from there it just grew to what it is. But yeah, it's I bought a lifetime membership. And Andrew probably said, you know what, it was like $500, Peter, back then. Like $500. Like when I saw that deal, I'm like, how can you not buy this lifetime forever, ever? And like, yeah, so I bought that. And I guess I did probably realize, you know what? He bought a lifetime membership. I'm gonna make him work for me now. Let's get him in here. So no, he had me help out like with. He actually, the real answer is he actually saw me answering a lot of questions in chat, like helping people. So he said, hey, do you want to come help us out? And he's, I'll give you something. He give it like $500 a month, like it was nothing, But at some, cause he saw us the potential of helping out the community, and that's what it was, right? So, that's how it became that, and then we just grew. The friendship grew, and then it's great because man, it's like you have people that you're kind of like your coworkers, and I consider you guys my coworkers too. We're on YouTube, so when I don't start my day with you guys, it's It's weird.
Yeah,
Peter, what's it?
I got a similar story. I'm just older because I was here back in Vancouver Traders. I guess I got a lifetime membership, but I hate to tell you, it was
You
free when I
did?
joined. It was free. So
What you mean was free when you joined? What
I,
does that
I've
mean?
I've Alan, I've never paid a penny for for my membership.
I gotta talk to Andrew.
But I mean, we're talking like 2017. Like I literally
Yeah, 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 yeah.
found his website. Like I think it had been up for about 3 days or something. So it was one of
Oh,
those. But
okay. So
same thing.
you it was not free. You was kind of like his beta.
Yeah,
You
pretty much. I mean, was it Bearable Traders when you joined, or was it still Vancouver
absolutely
Traders?
not Vancouver Traders for sure.
Yeah, Vancouver
Yeah,
Traders. Yeah, it was way back. Like yeah, same thing though. I was just helping people, and because I was trying to keep busy. And then I think he asked me to join and sort of be a moderator like 3 or 4 times, and I kept saying no. Like I'm retired. I don't want to. I don't want to work.
yeah, yeah.
But I eventually, and I wasn't that confident in my trading at that point. So I was thinking, well, I really want to focus on my trading. But then as you sort of get through that, and you realize, I got time. I
Yeah,
could do
because some
this.
of the stuff we were doing already, like he reached out to people that were actually helping and answering questions, so we are doing it already, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, we'll do it. All right, I'm done for today, man. Two losses, red day to end this Friday. I'm not touching anything else. This market is so bad. I'm just not touching anything else. It's not worth it.
Right.
So everything that looks good like a possible breakout just keeps coming back. Like this is a breakout I take all the time. It's just not working today. Everything is messy. I'm calling it a day. I'll hang out here, but it's not worth the time right now at the moment. So I had a good week, and I'm just giving money back here by doing this thing. So we'll leave it alone. It looks messy today.
Yeah.
Will you cover the conference through YouTube? Say no. We'll put videos up, but we can't cover everything on YouTube. We can't do that, but we will put some stuff up, throughout the events. And so,
Well, look at
Jeremy,
that.
you're
See,
getting
this is
chopped up
perfect.
too. Yeah, it's not worth it.
I just got my neighbor across the street asking if I wanted to go for. He always goes for late breakfast. So there you go.
There you go,
So
man.
now I had my protein shake. The markets are moving sideways and clearly doing
You're
nothing. It's a
you're
great
not
time to
missing
take off for an
anything.
hour,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely, man. Come back and see how things look.
Yeah.
A million in profit trading? No, I have not. No, no, I have not reached a million profit trading. Absolutely not. I had some really big days, but no, because think about it. I've been trading
Mi-
7 years.
Well,
Just the math
are
does,
you talking like in aggregate or?
Yeah, in aggregate, no, because I started being profitable like 3 years ago. So no, I haven't reached a million in profit trading. No, no way, no way, no way.
All right, guys.
So,
Carlos, we're here.
Hey,
what was that?
We're here.
Oh, hey, good to see you, man. Nice trend, PLTR. Let's get our sound in the chat room. Hold on a second. Uh,
Yeah, send it also into the chat.
yep,
We also
we'll send it right now.
muted the chat room as well.
Where's the chat? Oh, here it is. Okay, so all right, so chat should be on. Our screens are on in chat. Okay, awesome. All right, guys, over on YouTube, I'll leave it with Andrew and Brian are up next. Let me switch over to them. Peter, have a great late lunch and take care, guys. Have a great weekend.
great. Yeah,
Awesome.
have a good one. Looks like you had a good morning, Andrew. That's good.
I had a really good morning. Yes, sir. I had a very good
Good.
morning. Brian didn't have, but
Yeah, it was,
profitable.
yeah. I mean, I managed. Man, I could have. Yeah, it was not a great morning. I did manage to get back in the green, saved my winning streak.
Yeah, Brian also did a surgery on your eye a few days ago, so
Yeah,
maybe that's why.
well, I can't blame that.
All
All
right,
right.
so let's see. Yeah, I had a pretty good day, 35,000. So again, my PLTR was the best trade that I did, and what else I did trade? TQQ was also pretty nice. I don't really want to trade anything else. I'm kind of chilling until 11 o'clock, 8 o'clock. The best way is to chill.
Yeah, we
And
may, things are getting into some chop right now. We've got about 10 minutes of chop on the queues and about the same amount on the SPY. I'm not going anywhere right now. Doesn't mean we won't break into a direction at some point. But it is a Friday, and typically volumes do tend to drop off. However, we do have what they call a quad witching event, which is when a whole bunch of different derivatives expire, like your monthly options and the weekly options and futures contracts. So can add to a little volatility as we get closer to the close. Yeah, Reddit was. I thought Reddit was going to go to 100 today, the way it was trading, but it managed to put a rally in.
Reddit. Jeez, what a move on Reddit. I can't believe that Reddit was trading in early February 230.
Yeah, man, it has had a massive fall. I kept looking at it thinking, okay, it's getting overdone. Maybe a good opportunity for an entry, but it just kept dropping and dropping.
Brian, there's a question for you. What are the orders for the bookmap on NVIDIA?
Let's take a look. It's book looks I would say, if anything, books looks a little bearish. There's an order at 115.50 and then 115 and then 114. Orders are kind of spread out. I wouldn't I don't see a trade here, certainly based on the book map, because it's not. There's some orders up at 120. I don't think that's a kind of a no intention to fill bid in my mind. But there are some medium size orders above as well here, 117, 118. But I would say it's a little bit more bearish, a little bit more aggressive orders to the downside. We are kind of stuck in a bit of a range here. Maybe it's gonna drop here. See what the 116 puts are going for right now, 60 cents.
As remember, guys, TEDx BBT next week. A t-shirt.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Here. Want to recommend guys to come. VIP folks, check your email today. I'm going to send an email about the plan that we're having together. So if you bought the VIP ticket, so you can actually, check your email. And that would be amazing. I'm super excited. Oh.
Here you go. I said it was bearish, and so taking decided to jump in, take a bit of a short here.
Nate is asking, trapping and VDL, should I get out? So NVIDIA, what's your average on it? Definitely, definitely doesn't want to go up.
We've broken down on the SPY after trading in this range, and the same with the Qs. So NVIDIA kind of looked like NVIDIA followed that. Same with PLTR and AMD. So quick scalp on NVIDIA there. Getting into the time of day too, there's more algo trading that dominate the price action, which is why you'll get some of these kind of erratic moves, and then not as clean as the opening price action first hour or so.
Yeah, it really depends on the market situation as well. The market seems that really they want to go much higher lower. So yeah, and these are the time that you live. This is the time that you live. I don't know why you guys are still on YouTube. Just go get a life. You don't have to be here. There's literally nothing here. The reason that I'm here is because
Nothing
I
to
have to run
see.
the chat room. What is your excuse? Uh,
So you got to pop back up on the SPY and Qs. See how they respond here. See if they get back in this range. Usually, if you break out a range, it's there's a continuation. So let's just see.
John, yeah, I don't know. Why are you guys in the chat room? It's Friday. Why are you watching? There's nothing to trade. Just seriously, go get a life.
Nothing to
We have
see
to
here.
keep the shop open, but uh,
Yeah, we're happy to answer any questions that anybody has. Yeah, there go the Qs for SPY or Qs are selling off. We're back at the View app again. And there's a bounce. Is it worth paying for DOF Pro to use Schwab? Well, unfortunately, I can't tell you because I don't never use Schwab, so I don't know what their platform looks like. I mean, the advantage of using DOS is the tool, the tools that DOS has. So if Schwab has similar setups, then I would say, if Schwab's working for you, then DOS is fairly expensive, paying 150 a month or something like that. See, look at how they sold that. They broke that trading range, sold. So the market dropped, and then they pushed it right back up again. So it's just that's kind of just algos doing their thing.
so guys, Again, remember for those of you who are still here, Vancouver Summit, guys,
So
go to
Thinkorswim.
verbotraders.com/summit. So everybody who's coming with me. And we also have obviously this, you can download the PDF of what's happening here. So 3 days, day one is the TEDx, day two and day three are our own conference. And as a matter of fact, let me actually show you the brochure that we created for you guys. Give me a second. The brochure.
Well, I can tell you that on the question about Thinkorswim, I can tell you that Thor uses Thinkorswim in his trading. He doesn't use DOS. So clearly for Thor's style of trading, Thinkorswim is meets all his needs. So I don't. Yeah. So I mean that's. And again, I don't, Canadian don't have access to Thinkorswim, but he certainly makes it work for him.
Wait, Canadians don't have access to Thinkorswim?
I don't believe so. I think it's a US thing.
Oh, when did Schwab acquired them? Oh, interesting. Okay, guys, now this is what I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to show you with the TEDx brochure we're printing. So these are all the speakers that we're having. Again, from the Dean of UBC School of Business, Timothy Sykes, which is a very controversial trader. Some of our own members, Dr. Vanessa Chardin, Julia Hayes, actually, she's coming flying in. Jay Demerit was the captain of U.S. soccer national team. So he lives now in Vancouver. So Jay is coming. He's a really cool guy. And Faris is being here. Randy Howell, which our own psychologist, is coming. Pete Armstrong is a resilience coach. And it's coming. Mark Black is an author. Luckily, Bale, like mom trader. So, again, in the TED, you don't want to hear just from the people with the thing. You want to hear people, normal people that, they want to share the journey that they had in the trading. Drew Dudley is a very famous author and speaker. Mike Cameron, Dr. Chris Edwards, she's a coach for, I think, Canadian Armed Forces special team. So those are also very high performing people. They're high performance, law enforcement or soldiers. The mental, how she's actually working with them to be the best person. Yash is one of the youngest traders that we have actually in the community. So I met him a couple of times. I think he's 17 or something, 16 or 17. And then we have some artists for you actually. So these are all local artists that comes between the talks. So it's a whole day. It's an immersive experience. So you really go into these, arts like there's a group Subsecura that are doing this art. 3 people. We have a drag artist for you actually. As a matter of fact, like Vancouver is the drag culture is big, and a bunch of other artists. They actually have one of these room that we are having. We're gonna have when you enter that, it's like a immersive, multi-dimensional art that they bring it, projectors and stuff. It's very nice. I've never seen it, but they told me. And there are 4 sessions. Against the team is peak performance and mental resilience. So it's about first of all the achievement, then you go up, and then you fall, and then the recovery, that how you can actually recover from the fall that you had, and surpass. You're pushing beyond the limit. So the talks are in 4 segments, and Um, it's in 4 segments, so we'll walk you through the journey of the stories that people talk. That's it. So looking forward to having you guys.
That sounds really cool. That PLTR broke out, eh? Yeah, with the spies breaking out.
Since I switched to trading from the office, this microphone is giving us a little bit headache.
Really? Is it the one you use at home or is it a different one?
No, it's a different one. It's a different setup that I have at the office. It's just
Oh, okay.
sometimes they recognize the wrong microphone. How's the sound that you're hearing
Uh,
from me in the chat room?
I think it sounds fine to me.
You're fine, huh? You were just messing with
Yep.
me. Somebody was just messing with me in the chat room. And
I don't know. It
YouTube guys.
sounds okay.
All right. So
Yeah. TD's active trader in Canada is nowhere near as good as Thinkorswim, just by what I've seen.
all right, PLTR broke out. You mean yeah? Oh shit, PLTR went to 88 finally.
Yeah, I know. I was just saying PLTR broke out there.
Nice. Oh. All right, guys. So I have one announcement. Is that Avi is doing 2 hours uh, mentorship and coaching for elite members in the webinar room. I think the dates are. Did we go Wednesday and Friday or Tuesdays? Uh, I'm going to announce the dates as well due to popular demand. Monday and Wednesdays, Avi and Chia. So, and it's at 11. So after essentially at around this time. So that is great due to popular demand. And again, remember that, guys, in the bootcamp, Avi is accepting that trading every single day. So essentially, it's part of his live trading. So you can come. Thor is joining, and some other moderators as well joining. So you get access to essentially another live trading stream. So you can see how other people trade. It's That is the thing. All right, I'm gonna slowly head out. And we had a really good trading day.
All right.
Again, it was very, very successful, even though the market seems a little bit weird. At the opening, it was okay. Like NVIDIA did a couple of really nice runs. PLTR was a very nice breakout. And yeah, yeah, again, remember that, guys. Those of you who are yeah, those of you who are part of our VIP program, I'm going to send you an email today to see what we are doing.
Yeah, the this sounds like this event next week is going to be amazing. So hopefully a number of you can make it. I think we have a few spots left if you're still on the fence. Spies breaking out. There we go. Nice. Getting spam calls early. The information on the conference is it's in the link that is just above where your question is, where it says Team Bearable Traders, and then you can see the link bearabletraders.com / summit. Wow, look at us go here on this pop. We're up at here at S4 right now. Tesla's kind of forming a bit of a pennant here. It looks like it's going to maybe break higher, depending on what the market does. There goes Tesla. And there goes the market. And there goes PLT as well. So TEQs, everything's breaking higher right now. Nice. Nice move. Oh, maybe somebody caught that. I got a little bit of a trade there on the SPX again. And when we started to break from that high of day, started to break out. All right. Well, it's 8 o'clock, people. I am going to some breakfast and we'll come back and finish the day here. But, NVIDIA at high of day now. High of day, Q's high of day. Now we're going. So, again, hope everyone had a good day. We'll chat with you all Monday morning. And as always, I'll put out a swing trade video on the weekend on YouTube covering what happened last week in the markets and where things could be going, as well as swing trade opportunities as well. So if I can find any. So we'll catch you all Monday morning.
Hey, Brian, thank you. And that's on a different channel, right? You putting that on your channel, right? I think.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, but it's on my channel, Brian Pesum. It's not a BBT channel.
Yep.
So you just have to search
follow.
me.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna put the link right now here. Follow Brian, and then I'm gonna. Yeah, man, great. I watch it every weekend, so it's awesome. So here's the link, guys, to Brian's channel. Check him out. All right, I'm gonna disconnect from the chat room. And Paris is up next. Have a great weekend, Brian. We'll talk later. And
thanks, Carlos. Have a good weekend.
You too. And Thor will be here in chat, so we'll disconnect from chat room. And Paris, my good buddy, I see you. Want to be sure I hear you. How you doing?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Yes, I could. How are you, man?
Pretty good for a Friday.
This Friday sucked.
Very happy with the day.
I'm glad you're happy. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been waiting for these clean days overall.
Yeah. Good, just making sure everything is good. YouTube, you can hear Paris. Just want to make sure that's good before I hand it off. Let's wait here. Somebody confirm over on YouTube that we're good. Will be awesome.
Awesome.
Yep, you're good to go. All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and just hop off. Yep.
Perfect. Okay. There's a black screen coming up on the side of the YouTube. Anyways, I'm long Tesla, guys. I'm long Tesla. Today is one of those days where anything I touch turns into gold. I took 3 trades, 2 on Tesla, 1 on NVIDIA, and everything worked out perfectly. So I'm looking for the high of the day on Tesla. Tesla gonna break 242. Can you guys hear me okay on YouTube? How is everyone doing? Awesome. So I traded Tesla and Peachy. Yeah, thank you, Matthias. And I took my second trade. and I'm currently in my second trade, waiting for the high of the day. I think it can go to 245 today. And I'll come up with my thesis that I've been talking about this whole week. And today was one of that day where it worked out exactly. So let's see if it comes to 240. I might want to add a little more at 240. I took Nvidia too. Nvidia, I got stopped out at break even after like good amount of scaling out. Right here. I did take one trade on Nvidia for a long from 116.20, scaled out to 117, and I added a little more at 116. 116.50 was an important level for me. I added close to 160.50, but it stopped me out break even. And now I think it's chopped around for a little bit, and now it's going up. But Tesla was the trade of the day where, and I even highlighted in the chat room very clearly. I mentioned that at 928 that Tesla is a long, has a very good relative strength, and as soon as if it claims 235, I'm gonna take a long. And this is exactly how I pointed it out. And in the second it claimed the 235, that's where I scaled out. Okay, now Tesla is actually breaking the 242. So 242 is broken. Ah, nice. Love you, Tesla. Love you. Nice. Pop to 242. And now let's see it goes to 240, break the high of the day. I'm scaling out. So so I took two entries. First was my 235. So my first entry was 235 and then scaled out to 240, then added back in at 240, scaled out to 240, 350. This was my final exit. I literally caught the top. So this was my final exit and I caught out completely. And then this was the pullback, came back, sold off. And anything like I am long biased on the stock unless it breaks below 235. And I'll talk about it on why 235 is such an important level for me. Because I'm gonna go over and look and show you how why 235 was such an important level for me. And then you want to start seeing buyers stepping up. So this is where it held, started buying, started making higher highs, higher highs. And when it started making higher highs and looking for a break of VWAP, then you want to see a hold above the VWAP. So once it held above the VWAP, that's where I first my entry is, then my added more. And now I'm trying to scale out on the strength to the upside. And now I think uh, can it go to the break of 230, 243.50? Of course, I think so. And I think it goes to 245 too today. So yeah, I'm gonna scale out until 245 and maybe swing it. I don't want to swing it because it's a Friday. So I don't want to swing it on that. But I think I can scale out to 245 for sure. Boogie, yeah, and Tesla, and the reason I want to talk about this particular stock, right, and why I trained my brain to use 235 as a level, and there is a lot of information you can get from a price action standpoint. So let's remove everything. Let's remove all the lines that I have, and yeah, so now let's remove everything. Now what I'm trying to see here is the stock. Let me zoom in and try to see what is happening on the stock, right? So this is when a stock is actually at 235 right here. This is 235. I think 11th of March, the stock broke the 235, scaled off really bad. Then the only resistance it had was 235. Multiple times it did not lift 235. And once it claims the 235, it rallied to 254. This is the rally area, 254, 252 area, right? And then where did it pull back to? 235. And then it bounced again to 250. This is where, and then it back to 235. And once it loses 235, then it sells off to 222 area and again pulls back where? 235, right? And then it tried to break at like in the pre-market, but again comes back below 235. Where does it comes back? 235. And then it holds 235 the day before. But there was one very important thing from yesterday. Now let's zoom in at yesterday. So 235 becomes a very important level. So, but yesterday, I was here, right here. And I traded for the break of 235 right here. At 235, I've traded yesterday and now it was like 235. It held 235 yesterday very nicely at this point. And when it holds that 235, you're going to see a move on the upside. And it did not move, rather the SPY sold off and was really sold off heavily. And once you basically what I'm seeing is every single for the past 2 days, every single time it is trying to hold the 235. Let me go back a little bit here. So here, even in this case, you see this? This was day before yesterday, 319. It claimed the 235. It broke the 235 like a boss, went to 240 and came back at and closed at 235. So 235 is a very, very important level for me. This is day before yesterday. Now look at yesterday, right? So now look at yesterday. Let's see what yesterday did. Why is it not coming? Yeah, I think the system has gone slow. Yeah, okay. So if you look at yesterday, see this at the open, very good for the breakout at 235. This should have continued to higher, but just because the SPY sold off, this sold off. But after selling off this much, it again, what happened? It came back and then closed above 235 right here. This is a very strong signal for me, like 230, 232, and I was talking about 230 and 232 levels, and then 235. So 235 becomes again, now I want to see it gap up and then come back to 235 and then rally again. That's what I would love to see. And that's in my head, what I'm trying to plan is what are the scenarios possible? If it would have like now again, this is what exactly happened right here at this point. This is exactly, it was gapped up in the pre-market. And then I think the SPY was selling off in the pre-market. But even after SPY selling off right here, this Tesla wasn't dropping that much. Even in this case, Tesla was dropping, it was making high. And that's where I said that, you know what, there is a relative strength to it. And if it claims 235, that's where I'm going to go long for 240 and 245 ahead. So that's exactly you're planning before it. And once you start seeing, and then when the tape came in, and I'm just waiting for the buyers to step in. And the second the market opened, it was a very clear buying signal. It was like, okay, this is, I'm a buyer, I'm aggressive, I want to get in. And within a matter of like 2 minutes or 2 or 3 minutes, it was like already popped $6. And that's how you have to be quick when you see it. And once it's holding 240, you want to look for the second leg higher to 245, etc. So yeah, that was my trade. Oh, so Tesla is popping up again. Coming to, yeah, very good chance it breaks the high, guys. So I think it's grinding a very nice price action. Yeah, it just keeps trending to the upside. And you see this higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs. And you just like, you ride the trend until proven guilty. So NVIDIA, I traded NVIDIA too. So NVIDIA is was I did not touch NVIDIA at all because 116.50 was a very important level for me. And the reason I said 116.50 is, where did I get that from? So if you look at this, 116.50 held for the past 2 days, even in the pre-market, even at the open. So this is where 116.50 was okay. It rallied from 116.50 to 120, came back, again rallied from 116.50 to 120. And now I want to see if it loses 116.50, then there is, no reason for me to go long. So I did not have any conviction on NVIDIA today because it was selling off, sold below 116.50, and I did not even touch it. Like here, it was very close to that important area. If the third time it's coming to that same level, that means it's the chances that it's going to break to the downside, then hold to the upside. When a support, the more times a support gets tested, that means it's a chances that it's going to break to this thing. But one thing that I saw was after it dropped, sold off to 116.50, and it pulled back again, it rejected, but it did not make a new low. Ideally, it should make a new low. So once things are not making, and Andrew called this out in the chat room, saying that, okay, this is looking long, and he would have gone long. And I was like, let me look into it. And I was done on the day for sure. But I was thinking, okay, the volume came in too. So when you see this is let's review this. And if you look at the volume, ideally this volume was a very high volume. It did not lead to continuation, and then the volume decreased here. Ideally you were seeing higher volume on the selling side, but volume decreased and the buyers started taking over. So once you see something like that, I want to see continuation on the volume to the upside. So this is what I want to see. So I want to see once it started holding and the tape was started confirming, that's when I went long aggressively to bounce to 117 and actually hold the VWAP and actually go higher. But it never held the VWAP, and it actually came back below 116.50. That was the level, and now it's trying to chop around 116.50 is that value area, seems like. Okay, so Tesla is actually, I should add there on Tesla. Let's see if it gives me that would have a good add at 241.50. So let's see if it gives me a chance to add. Yeah, I did add at the pullback too. If you look at this, I even added at the pullback at 116.50 at the VWAP. I was trying to see if it bounces from here, just below it sold off, and then I saw some buyer stepping in. I was like, okay, let's go. But it tried to pop up, never did not sell, did not have that continuation. So that's why I got stopped out. I did add there. So Tesla is looking to, let's see where it wants to go. I think maybe it tries to consolidate here a little bit. And yeah, Tesla doesn't seem like a short today. So I'm trying to think if I should add here. The bids are stepping down. I don't want to add here. The bids are not that aggressive. The buyers are not that aggressive. Yeah, it's just keeps dropping. The bids are dropping. I want to see buyers stepping up on the tape. So even though you see that the trend is here and a lot of people use the trend as their confirmation, I don't use them as a confirmation. It's just a reference point. But I like tape as a confirmation. So if I would have added right here, it wouldn't have been worked out in my favor. because I did not see any buyers stepping up aggressively. So I think it's trying to consolidate and see where it wanna bounce from. So you see that? And that's the whole reason I did not add. I was thinking about adding because these are the areas that I would start watching the tape. Uh, I don't watch the tape all the time. I'm watching at important areas. So if certain areas are interesting to me, I would watch the tape and then I'll think if it's a good point to add or not. And I'm still watching the tape. The bids continue to step down, so no reason for me to add to the position. Again, no, again bid step down again, 241 now, 240 is 93. $90, 83. Yeah. Now the bid stepped up. Let's see if they're able to hold it. I want to see they're able to hold it. Unable to hold it. 241 is trying to hold it, but I'm not getting that strength yet. Yeah, it dropped again. Two 40, 96, 93. Okay, I'm adding more here. 240, 93. That's where I saw the buyer. 240, 93. It is again trying to test that. Okay, dropped. 240, or it again, the second, yeah, 240. 240, 93, still trying to hold. Still trying to hold, but again, the sellers are taking over again. Okay, boom. Let's see if it has a continuation to the upside now. Okay, it dropped. 240, 93 dropped. Uh, Now I want to see if it holds here or stops me out at break even. My break even is 239.97. Yeah, 235, sorry, 245 is definitely a target. And I think if the buyers step in again, and if they're trying to bring back the price back above 242, I think 245 is coming eventually. Sometimes like the stocks tend to, pull back depending on the big buyer who wants to, get a better entries to fill, and SPY is selling off too. So that is contributing to a deeper pullback. So Peter, I'm live every single day from 11 to 12. Every single market day. Again, the buyers are not that aggressive yet. So what is happening this weekend, guys? Anything interesting you guys are doing this weekend? That is Nike is actually breaking the highs of the day. Okay, back above 240.93. It's trying to reject 240.93. Let's see if it holds 240.93 here. Ideally, it should reject from 240.93 because it closed below 240.93. If it claims back above 240.93, then I would love to add more. But let's see how it does. Okay, I think, yeah, it rejected the 240.93 area. Now the sellers are trying to take over. I'm not gonna add anymore. I'll get stopped out below 240 at break even. Yeah, my break even is 239.97. Yeah, thanks, AB. Guys, whoever who can join us in Vancouver. Vancouver is literally less than 2 weeks. Not that less than a is that today is Friday. Yeah, next Friday is I'm traveling to Vancouver. So it's 1 week. So try to get the last minute tickets or just plans if you can. I think it's gonna be one of the best events have Andrew has done so far. Like it includes the TEDx and it's full of learning, 3 days, full of trading community, interactions with people, social gathering, gala nights, nightclubs, uh, for resilience and perseverance, like the psychology related presentations, then trading related presentations. I'm going to be presenting on the how do you talk about the advanced price action stuff. So I'm very excited to be there and a great opportunity to learn as well. I'm very much looking forward to it. So I think it's gonna come to my break-even point. Yeah. It did not fill me. I was literally a couple of cents away from getting filled. Yeah, Lena, I think check out the yeah, it should be available. Uh I think there is a area where you can check out the recording link. I don't know that. Maybe Carlos can help on the RV's webinar yesterday. Okay, it bounced from 240, so that is good. And it did not like stop me out by a few cents. But I think this should hold. If this doesn't hold, there's no point. Like this is the usually you'll see a bounce from this important levels, 240. And then it needs to continue to the upside. A lot of times it's just a small bounce and then continue lower. So now it's claiming above 241. Good. Good. Let's see if it holds above 241. So now I'm removing my stop loss. Okay, it bounced nicely. So Tenzin, I do give importance to previous day high and low, but it's not a criteria. It's not a. It's used as a reference. I don't take decisions based on it. I just to get an idea where the stock price is. That's why I use it. I usually don't give. It's not a decision maker for me. Like it's not a criteria for me to get in or get out on a position. It's just a reference points. Like all the indicators that you see, the trend line that you see, they're all reference points. Uh, the 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 decision makers are usually levels for me, and I have to seek confirmation on the tape to be able to get in on those levels. I think it's gonna drop again to 240.50 and then bounce. Let's see if it does that. 267 is buying. Sorry, for 240.67. Now it dropped to 240.61. Okay, I'm adding more here. Let's see if it bounces from here. It can drop to 240.50, but it can bounce from here if that's not. Okay, it dropped to 240.50. Let's see if it bounces from 240.50. Okay, it dropped. Yeah, I'll be getting out now. It has to bounce from here. If it doesn't bounce, then no reason for me to be a part of this. Okay, I think it's gonna drop. One more last chance for it to prove. Okay, all out. All out to 240.25. Yeah, it did not have that juice for it to pop. I think now it goes below 240 and then come back later. So all out for Tesla at break even. That volume just came in again. This is the volume that I was looking for. 260.50. Yeah. Let's see if even this volume, like you don't wanna. Sometimes these volume just these are in like this is the time where it comes in burst, and sometimes you don't see even a continuation on it. But had a fantastic day overall. I was one and done on the day, but I still took two trades. That was Tesla again and Nvidia overall. Always say break even, yeah, because that's my strategy of getting out at break even. Initially, my break even was 239.97, but after I added it, went to 240.25. Yeah, managing your risk is the number one thing that you want to do. Check the tape on Nvidia. Let's look at Nvidia. What is happening on Nvidia? Yeah, this is that 116.50 area, and they do not want to move away from that price. It just chops around this area. Yeah, and it's a Friday too. It can chop around all day around this area. Like the reason It is trending on the downside. The moving averages, all of these are descending. Not long biased, but not short biased either. If I wanna, yeah, I would do nothing. I would leave Nvidia alone until and unless it breaks either 117 or breaks either 116 on the downside. Unless that happens, I do not want to just trade the chop around this area. So watching the tape even doesn't make sense here, because what you want to see is you want to see a balance. You will see a balance behavior. Like for 1 minute you'll see a buyer, and then the second minute you'll see a seller, and it would just chop around here and there. So it's sometimes it's the Nvidias are usually you want to trade or watch the areas where either the trend is going to continue or the trend is going to break out. So my interest area would be something around 117 and 116. And the reason I took here was 116 was, firstly, it was close to 116. Second of all, I saw a volume coming in, like an aggressive volume coming in, and the selling volume being down. That's where I would, but I do not want to. Yeah, have a good weekend, Walden. Take care. PLTR. I think PLTR was a very good trade that Andrew took. Very nice. This is a breakout trade, opening range right here. This is an opening range or this range. And then bought back, tight pullback, and this is the scale out that he did. And then this is a pullback to VWAP and then sell off ABCD pattern. Very nice on PLTR. I also had Nike and what do you call FedEx in my watch list, because and MU as well. MU has my earnings too. And I was short biased on MU. Nike was also very short biased, but it was already down a lot. I think around this area it was down 10% or something. And then it did not sell off, wasn't a great price action, and it jumps prices too. It like has a wider stock, wider. It doesn't trade great, like not a good, it's an easy stock. Doesn't trade well for day trading standpoint. And then MU was good. I was interested in MU, but the only reason I did not touch MU was it was down. So first of all, it was down close to like 4 or 5%. I love when stocks are down 4 or 5%. And when the stock is down right here, but the reason I did not touch it is because though in the stock it says it was down 4 or 5%, but looking back from 110, the top, and then down to like here 99, and this is a close to a 10% drop. And 10% is high for me. Like you want to see if it's down 10%, it could drop to another 2% and then chop around like Nike did, right? When something like this. If this stock was just like from here, it was just down and then down a little bit here to maybe 100, I would love to short this. These are the shorts that I would love to take. And in this case, what I was thinking was maybe it comes back. So this was the range. I was thinking if it comes back to 100 again or 101, and then would be a good short opportunity on the downside. But it never gave me a pullback either for me to take a trade. So yeah, though it turned out really nice on the short side, but did not fit my playbook or a criteria that I had. And plus, this was a daily too at 98. What is the daily chart coming in from? Oh yeah, yeah, this daily level. So yeah, uh, nothing except for Tesla. Yeah, Tesla dropped 240 now. So Anything interesting? Anything you guys are watching? Anything that you wanna see? Any questions you want me to answer? When you say Tesla pushing hard for you, what does that mean? Like hard as in like you're not able to understand the price action of Tesla, or is it been long past 4 minutes? You're long past 4 minutes. And this is the time of the day you wanna be patient. It can bounce, it can like currently what I see is like this area now it's like trending lower, but from a big picture standpoint, this popped up, right? This is a nice, did not make a new high. Now can this be a bounce from here? Uh, I'm not sure. It can continue until the thing is, unless and until it claims back the 240.50 and then 241 right here. I'm not sure if it's gonna go higher. For it to claim, I need some confirmation for it to go higher. So currently, the stock can just chop around here and there, and this is the time of the day. Plus, it's a Friday. Uh, so yeah, like don't expect it to move very quickly in your favor or just go in whatever. I think it's gonna pop now. Yeah, I think now it's working for you. I think it just needed some motivation from my side. Now let's see how the stock is doing. Like, will it reject again here and make a new low, or will it break and hold at above 240 again, and then see if it breaks this area? Nice. So Tesla is breaking out. Nice catch, edge leak. Great call out. Apple, what is Apple doing? Apple was gapping down today, and then it rallied, and then it went to the same area of 215, and now it's rejecting the sold off really bad, then bought back 210. I think 210 has been a very important level for Apple. I saw 210 holding for quite some time and then bounced to 219, and now it's coming back. I think 210 has a chance to break on the downside. Yeah, it's bouncing right now. So Apple is interesting. Apple is looking a good shot to me. I do not take it. I feel like taking short on Apple. Should I take it? I think short. Apple is a good shot. It's trying to come back up. Or did the so Tesla popped up again? Apple is trying to come back up too. Yeah, Apple is looking interesting. Let's see if it pulls back to 21350 area, and if it gives us a chance, I'll take a shot. I'm more I think it could be a good shot overall. And if the SPY is selling off too, Tesla is popping up very nicely. Now I think this now is a chance for it to go to prove to the high of the day. So Tesla is going back. SPY is coming back up. Nvidia is bouncing too to 117. I think everything is bouncing right now. Now there is a sell-off. I shorted Apple. I shorted Apple a little bit. Let's see if it has a continuation on the downside. It could just be a drop and pop. Yeah, it seems like a drop and pop. I got a bad fill too. I was trying to get it around 21340. So Samuel, try joining the chat room. You'll find Thor's trading style, he's available every single day from 10 to 11. Yeah, so try the chat room out, because he is available and you can learn his trust style and ask any questions that you have for his trading. And he's a very good trader, and you can read his book too. He has written a book. What's the name of the book? Something to do with pivots. So check that out. I'm out on Apple. I'm not out on my Apple trade. It did not have that continuation. Usually I expect it to work in my favor immediately, but there was no momentum on the downside when the volume came in.
Hey Paris, just want to show people because if you're in the YouTube and you want to see how other traders are trading, there's a great way to do that, right? $19 for the whole week gets you access to the chat room, like Paris was saying. Just kind of test the thing out, right, for a whole week, and then you get access to. Let me bring it up. It's right over here somewhere. Where I put it. You get access to like 25 different strategies. Paris' stuff is on there as well. Like everybody, right? So let me show you here. Here it is, right? So you get access to all these courses here. These are our strategies, and Andrew, Thor, Peter, John, everybody's on here. Avi and Thor's right here. R3 to S3, very popular strategy. People love this one. A few of my P Capital members are trading in. They love it. Who else? And yeah, so you have that from there, and then you have other stuff as well in the trading terminal, right? Go to Trading Terminal Academy. Let me see if I can show you here quickly before we run out of time. Trading Terminal Academy, and if you join here, there's free stuff, right? Go to tradingterminal.com, click on Academy, and there's a lot of free courses here that you could get started with. So you click on Get Started, and if you look at this free courses here, this free collection, and this one here, click on View Courses. It's gonna ask you to sign in with your Google account, no credit card, no nothing, and you have all these free, right? So you have a bunch on here. Paris, you got a few on here as well. Unlocking the psychological insights embedded in chart patterns. Very nice.
Yeah.
Hour and 7, free. You ain't gotta pay anything, right? So what else we have? We have where's Thor? Thor should be on here. So Thor on here. Here's Thor. Thor has a bunch, guys. We give this. No, this is not free. There's no way. Hold on a second. There's a mistake. It's really free. It is. Okay. All right. If that's a mistake, go in right now and enjoy it before it changes, because there's no way we're giving that.
That is crazy. Yeah.
It actually caught me off guard, man, because look at all these lessons for free. Wow. Okay. Go get them before somebody realizes they made a mistake and block it.
That is amazing. So guys, things that are available for free, get some knowledge, and then even check the, it's not just about getting into the course and or exploring that. It's also about getting those questions answered that you are trying to find out just by going through the course, and sometimes you have to spend a lot of time to get those answers. With community and with things, you can get those answers immediately. You just ping the answer, there would be 10 people who would be responding to your question, and yeah, so you'll learn from the people, from the peers who are ahead of you in your trading journey. So yeah, check that out. Okay, guys, I think it's top of the hour. Have a great weekend. I will see you guys tomorrow, not tomorrow, on Monday. Take care. Have a great weekend.